This is the Final Fantasy Entertainment and Podcast Network. I am the warrior of hype, and I introduce myself this time because guess what? I am freaking hype to talk about Chapter 4. We're finally going to put a bow on this one. We're going to give it our review, our rank. We're going to give out awards for best music and best battle and all that other good stuff. But first, before I do that, I got to introduce my panelists. I have... right down there is the Excalibro.
What's up, everybody?
I love Ken.
Go.
Always wearing the topical shirt, man. I love it so much. I love Ken. Not as much as you love cannons, apparently. Now,
not tonight.
Down there in the bottom left of your screen, that is the Dragoon King.
Hello, everybody. This is my spear. I try to be topical as well, but in a different way.
So I spent money on this. I gotta shout it out. Listen,
I'm not done shouting it out until episode like 14. Okay?
I want to give a special shout out of my own before we actually get jumping into this. Sephiroth's game is here now. The reason why I want to single out Sephiroth's game is because if you go back to any of the previous episodes in this podcast series, go check the comments. Sephiroth's game, dropping some great comments about further details and further analysis to add on to what we were talking about. Now, I think it's just fantastic to read through those every week, so thank you so much for leaving those comments, and thanks for being here and watching it live. Yes, it is being recorded live. All right, y'all, let's get into this right now because we begin. Let me bring that volume down because you guys don't need to hear that. We begin just where we left off last week, where we did the first part of the Chapter 4 analysis here, where Cloud takes the dolphin up to the elevator, lowers it, raises it up. We're in the Upper Junon area. We're going to see the city. Now, this right here, first of all, I want to showcase this right now because this chapter has so much glorious foreshadowing and teases. All right, y'all. Now, I'm going to be pointing these teases and the foreshadowing out so much because as we can see here, you can see the turrets attached to the side of this building here. And it is facing right out there to where we pointed out last week how there's this big clearing, and yeah, we were a little like confused on why this isn't pointing at Wutai in the northwest, but it's kind of southwest, but it lines up perfectly for when Sapphire weapon attacks, and you can see this big clearing in the ocean there perfect for when the weapon is approaching, and these turrets are going to be firing off. I want you guys to just imagine that as you look at this little still shot. Just imagine the intensity, the craziness that's going to be happening during that. Oh my god. This chapter is full of this stuff. So, we make our way through there. And we're going to begin this with like an incredibly stunning CG cinematic, like a CG rendered cutscene. I don't know what to call these nowadays, but like that fully rendered cutscene of Junon. The Shinra helicopter approaches from over the Meridian Ocean as hundreds of troopers await his arrival, the arrival of the new president. The full military might of Shinra is going to be on display here, and it is overwhelmingly formidable. We also see the Highwind for the first time up close, I guess, in its glory. So, yeah. This is why I'm like going to fight anybody who says that CG cutscenes are unnecessary nowadays, because I've seen a lot of people floating around where they're like, hey, the graphics of the PS5 are great enough. We don't need them anymore. And I'm like, yo, when we see this moment, and I'm gonna get to it a little bit since I'm talking about it. And in fact, I might have skipped over it. Did I skip over it? Yeah, I think I skipped over. Yeah, there it is. What do you guys think so far of this chapter? Like the entry. Do you have anything to add to it?
So what I was going to say is when you're walking through the aerodrome there and you got that view of the turrets, I did comment on that also. I got some notes here that they're really setting up a moment that's going to happen here. And as you're looking out that window, that's also one of the first times you can see the Condor in the background on the reactor too, which is dope. Dude, so you really get a sense of scale on everything.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. I know that's off a little bit, but man, this freaking cinematic is so good. Look at this.
That shot.
Oh, it is so good, man. I was going nuts on my first playthrough seeing this.
Dude, look at the Highwind. Look at everything.
Look at everything. But yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful cutscene here, and yeah, man. So I already talked about that. We see the Highwind, right? We're gonna get over to that point. I'm not gonna be like keeping up in line with the video that's playing, so just follow along. Cloud and the party see the Highwind, and Cloud says, "Unless you got a trained crew and piloting skills we don't know about, we're sticking with the boat," because Barret was like, "Let's take that one." This is, of course, once again, foreshadowing for part 3, but I like to listen closely to what Cloud says here. It's almost like the developers are speaking to us here. He says that you need a trained crew and piloting skills. So that trained crew, all right, I think everybody has kind of already said this in their own way, that we all feel like the 7th Infantry is going to be the ones that help us, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It's either in the Highwind or in the sub.
Or the
right?
sub.
Now that is where I'm going to come in later on in this video, where I believe we're going to meet the 7th Infantry in part 3 with the sub, not the Highwind. I think, yeah. Unless if they do help in a way, but like,
why not both?
Cloud won't be there. I know we're going in the future memories. We're going in there. We're going in the future memories that haven't happened yet. But Cloud won't be there in Junon, and the 7th Infantry is devoted to Cloud, right?
Oh yeah.
So I think Sid will be able to do a good enough job to get that thing out of there. He'll be able to pilot it on his own.
I also feel that would take away from... I'm not trying to cut you off, but real quick, I feel like that would take away from Cloud. Or take away from Sid, rather. That would take away from him if we had to rely on guys who are devoted to Cloud. Because that whole point of where we're trying to amplify why he's a good leader, and that really sets up why he is elected later, or around that point, rather. So, I think... yeah, you bring up a good point, actually. You've completely changed my mind on the matter, because I thought they'd be the Highwind crew.
And if you think about the original game, at some point the Highwind upgrades, right? So I'm thinking after you get the 7th Infantry from the submarine, they will join you and then come up to the Highwind, and maybe that's when the Highwind upgrades. But either way, like, you're going to have a whole lot more help on the Highwind, and maybe it opens up, I don't know, man, like hunts or something. I don't know. Well, like, you got more people to talk to on your hub is going to be the Highwind, I think. So you'll be able to kind of accept quests and all that other stuff from the Highwind, maybe?
I would like it if, and I know this is a little jumping later into this episode, but bringing back the mechanic of having them as party members and just having an army and maybe fleshing that out and being able to do things with your own infantry troop. I don't know what they could do with that, but it'd be cool to just have a mode or something where you could just control these 5 infantrymen and just have them, go storm something with it. That'd be cool as hell. I don't know how to do it, but Square Enix will figure it out. They're much better at this than I am.
So Block Sheep writes in with the survey, and Block Sheep says, honestly, how long did you stand in awe trying to take a photo of the Highwind? A long time.
It was a minute, that's for sure, man. I was pushing the edges of the camera on both directions and just trying to get every angle, and man,
I was trying to get real close to the side of like the railing, so that way it like jacked up the camera to be really close to Cloud, and then that way it can kind of
Did you camera break here?
Oh, I did, dude. I camera broke this, and it is incredible. Of course, there's nothing. It's hollow inside. I was like, we'll see.
Of course.
Maybe they got the cabin in there. I don't know. We'll see. No.
But could you see like the deck or anything in more detail?
No. Well, you mean like
really?
you mean the deck right here,
the
like
lower deck? Yeah.
Yes. So that, I mean, it's nothing special, I don't think. But yeah, I mean, we will be able. Why don't we break the camera on a different stream? Why don't we do that one? We'll dedicate a stream.
I'd be down.
Because, dude, this area is beautiful. So, like, the one thing I've noticed from breaking the camera was that I had always like assumed that this area up here was expanded to be bigger. Now I might be mistaken. So I thought like once you got up here and this whole segment of the chapter 4 was just Junon fully expanded. It's like Midgar scale now to where, you know, like that didn't fit into the world of Rebirth. Like the Midgar that we got in Remake is actually much, much bigger. But I thought Junon was the same way, but it looks like it is plopped right there in the world, because when you break the camera and you go up, I mean, there's the Junon region. Like, it's all there. It's all there. And there's so many times when I'm seeing it, and this is kind of going to contradict what I said earlier, when there was like, I see the Junon city and they kind of do this cool camera angle of it from the ocean. It's like, is that CG or is that in the game? The city itself looks freaking beautiful once you're in the city. Once you're in the city, they render it out beautifully, and then the outside world, like the Junon region, is all like just, you know, polygons. But yeah, this is really cool. It's right there in the world. Makes me wonder how they're going to do the Highwind, because obviously you can't have everything rendered in at that detail at all times. But I'm sure they might be able to figure that out.
Right.
So yeah, I'll get back on track here. We take a lift. Well, let that play. So we're going to take a lift that has a jet fighter on it. Again, this part of the chapter just feels like nothing but teases to me. Like nothing but like, hey, get excited for part 3, because here's the Highwind and here's a jet fighter that might be like your adversary in the skies. Like this might be what you're contending with. You can even hear two NPCs talk about this. Like they're both kind of playfully arguing about which is better. The Highwind is more beautiful. The Relnica is faster. It makes up for it. And they're kind of like they're chatting back and forth, but it is kind of feeling like they're setting up Highwind versus Relnica in the sky, some aerial dogfighting. Oh man, dude. So
you see them practicing for the parade there? It just showed it in the clip there. You got the soldiers marching in formation.
Yep.
There's a soldier up top actually mentions the commendation. Like immediately, it's like foreshadowing the end of the chapter right off.
Yeah, in fact, they are so focused on this damn commendation that nobody's noticing that Shinra's Most Wanted is just perusing through the sky deck.
I got a note about that too. Right here, where it cuts to Rufus. Right. Let's see. The first thing that he says is, "No, we'll leave them be for now."
Yep.
Right there. So he knows. He knows what's going on.
Well, he knows, but and that plays into something that happens later when he's talking the song, but come on, these are Shinra's Most Wanted. I just thought it was funny that they're all so focused on winning the commendation that they're just like, some of them even talk to you. They're like, we're going to win the president's commendation. And I'm just like, you are literally staring at a group of terrorists.
But all the troops don't know that. For some reason, all the troopers don't know it, because even the 7th Infantry is fooled. Like, they see Cloud's face. They don't know about Cloud for some reason. Well, I guess Cloud's face wasn't on the poster, was it? Right?
That's true. That's true.
Well, yeah, he's the only one that's not there.
That's true. But all right.
But the rest are there.
Now, did you guys catch the Advent Children Sid reference where one of the soldiers points at the Highwind and goes, "Ain't that a beaut?
Ain't that a beaut?
She's a beaut."
Yeah. Or I'll never get tired of looking at that beaut, or something like that. Yeah, I was like, okay. I
quote that line all the time. Like the whole day, she's a beaut. Nate Shara, latest model. I'll give you the grand tour afterwards. I love that quote. I love Sid in that movie.
But I wish he was in it more.
Yeah, me too.
So, all right, so here we go. Sung comes in and he says an emissary from Wutai is here by the name of Glenn Lodbrok. Now, Rufus says, "Oh?" This is interesting because Rufus recognizes this name. Now, Glenn walks in, all black robed up, and removes the hood. Rufus is surprised. Okay, so now the new Shinra asks in the survey, what is the panel's opinion on the parallel between Remake's Cloud confronting Sephiroth? Cloud says, "You're dead." Sephiroth goes, "Oh, you need not remind me." And then Rufus saying, "I thought you were dead." And then Glenn saying, "Then you thought right." So there's a parallel there. I like that, new Shinra. Thanks for pointing that out. Because now I'm going to drop some future memories. Boom! Get ready for future memories here. All right, this is obviously we've already made it clear we're talking spoilers. We're not going to dive too much into it, but I think it is related to this scene, and it definitely adds context. Whereas we know that this is Glenoroth, man. This is Glenn. This is Sephiroth. Sephiroth Genova as Glenn.
Jackie took it upon herself. Shout out Jackie. She took it upon herself to call this Glenova. When I had to explain the later context, she was calling him because he goes, "Wait, so is he dead? Is he not?" I'm like, explain that it was Genova influencing and Sephiroth influencing, and so she just started. She pivoted from calling him Glenn to Glenova. So
nice.
I don't know if we want to steal that. I like Glenoroth. That's good too. I like how we went different directions.
I like how we combined it though. That was good. Yeah. So apparently, the old Shinra president and the viceroy of Wutai had big plans that he hopes to see Rufus carry out. And it's called the Battle for the Magnus Materia, and it demands commitment from both sides. Now, future memories again. Interesting here that Glenn refers to the Promised Land as a fairy tale.
Yes, I find that fascinating, especially given who he's talking to.
Yeah,
because Rufus is pretty damn interested in that Promised Land.
Yeah, and this is Sephiroth.
Yeah,
calling the Promised Land a fairy tale.
Yeah, but I think that's. I don't know if that's to. Like, what do you guys think the angle is there? Because I've been trying to rack my head around. Because that threw me for a loop. Because it is Genova and Sephiroth, and mostly Sephiroth's influence here. I feel like, but it's Sephiroth referring to the Promised Land, something he's so adamant about seeing a fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
But why? Like, I've been trying to. I'm curious what you thought about that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, only thing I have here is it's like this is. And I'm trying to think back to the original game. At this point in the game, I mean, Sephiroth's after the Promised Land, right? Like, like he talks about the Promised Land all the time, right? I have to go back and play the game again, but like play the original to kind of refresh my memory here. But it just kind of shows to me that this is a different Sephiroth. Like, this is a Sephiroth with a different end game in mind, saying that the Promised Land is a fairy tale. Of course, we're not like. In this moment, if you're playing it for the first time, you just think this is Glenn talking. But now, the context of this being Sephiroth, chat, what do you guys think of Sephiroth calling the Promised Land a fairy tale? I don't know. Maybe you can help me out there.
I think it's also just very dismissive of him.
Yeah.
To like, it's weird, especially. I don't know if it's because of. So, I feel like it's because of who he's talking to. I don't know if Sephiroth would do this with anybody else but Rufus. And I'm not sure if it's because.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, what's your opinion?
What's the thought?
So maybe this is more like Advent Children Sephiroth, where he's like trying to hand out to spare everyone he can get. Right? It's like he's messing with them.
Yes, and he even says, "Left to you, this world would become an empty husk." Sorry. Now the puzzle pieces are lined up right in front of our eyes that this is Sephiroth, because he is basically saying the same thing to Rufus that he said to Cloud. Can you bear to see the planet suffer? Right? So Sephiroth here wants the longevity of the planet. This is his new game. His new end game is that's his new objective, is to get the longevity of the planet. He wants the planet to last forever. And this is where that's my headcanon, I guess. That's Sephiroth's new objective. He wants forever. So, in order to make the planet last longer, you need to fill it with more souls, more fuel, right? So war, glorious war, can make it right because so many people die in war. So you got more death, more life stream fuel, stronger planet. Not only, not just natural deaths either, though. This is important because this feeds into the theory that I will probably bring up so much during this, and I should have made this a standalone video anyways, but that Sephiroth is not looking for more souls for the planet. He's looking for resentful souls. He's looking for that hatred, that despair Now, if you got spiteful deaths, which war, Glenoroth here, or Glenova, says that war begets anger, desolation, hatred, and these souls are more susceptible to becoming a part of the life stream black, which is the new unity that Sephiroth is referring to when he says a new unity. He wants everybody to unite in despair, right? Because that is strong. And just another thing I throw out there. Negative energy is, 5 times more powerful than positive energy. And the reason why I got that is because I can't remember what famous philosopher or whatever said, but it takes 5 positives to reverse a negative, right? So if negative is that strong, the planet is going to be strong. At least this is what Sephiroth believes, right? To make the planet strong, you got to fill it with that negative black life stream. That's my theory. Hey. That's my thoughts on that, y'all.
Well, speaking of negatives, can we talk about Glenn's hair? I think they know what they did.
Oh my god!
Call this man Cumulonimbus because he's the father of all clouds, right?
Oh my god.
Listen, we went from podcast to overcast with the chance that Cloud's dead, bro. Hey, what is can we talk about this for a minute? Because I know a lot of people are gloomy on this subject.
Oh my god!
For all the people who didn't want to hear the puns, you just rained on their parade, dude.
I did. Made it rain.
Oh my lord!
Oh my god! Woo, that was great. I mean, you got a point though, and I hate it. So let me be honest with you. I'm gonna be real with you right now. I don't like if this is Cloud's dad. I don't care if this is just a shell of Cloud's dad. I don't like it. I don't think Cloud needed his father to be in this story.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
But all
especially if he's somebody notable.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're gonna do anything with Cloud's dad, I feel like it's just better if he's kind of just. Yeah. I mean, from what we know, pre-Glenn, I guess, if assuming that they might go that route. But all we really know is that wasn't his father just kind of your blue collar man, went to the mountains, disappeared, they found his gear, never found him. That was pretty much all they ever said about him in lore.
I think so. Yeah, something like that along those lines.
He was just a hard-working guy.
Actually, Palpatine is your grandfather. Like, oh, okay, cool.
Palpatine?
Yeah, it's your grandfather. It's kind of crazy, Palpatine. From a certain point of view, you're nobody, though. So that's anyway. Glenn says to Rufus, "You started this," and this is how Rufus did shady stuff behind his father's back, right? And even didn't he start the resistance group known as Avalanche? Isn't that what Rufus did?
Yes, sir.
So Glenn's parting words is a message from the Viceroy. "Congratulations, Mr. President, on your inauguration. Shinra has a bright future." Whew. Mocking this man right in his face, because I too have a message from the creator of Final Fan TV. It says, "Congratulations, Daniel, on the first 4 episodes of this reviewed and ranked series. You are amazing and a hero to all. Bald looks good on you, you sexy beast. Final Fan TV has a bright future." And wow, that's cool. I was just like, I can't believe that the creator of Final Fan TV sent me that note. That's really cool that he, that's crazy. That's crazy. So Rufus is upset here.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
Yeah, dude, can we take 1 second to just admire your bald?
Squeaky. No, I didn't do the squeaky clean. I didn't do squeaky clean.
Only there was a club for guys like that.
Yeah, really. Dude, I thought that's when you were going to reveal it. This happened way early. What a subversion.
Right.
I like to subvert those expectations, just like the the game
Dan
that we
cast
are
subversion.
Analyzing.
Oh my god.
Squeaky.
Hats off, Dan.
Yeah, hats off.
Oh, man. So Rufus is upset here because Glenn knows more about him than he should. All right? Glenn should be dead. That's the first and foremost. So Rufus is already confused when he sees him because Rufus killed him. Glenn knows that Rufus started this, which that's interesting because Rufus has been keeping this under wraps. So he mocks him by saying the Viceroy, whose name is Saruf. Come on, man. Rufus, come on, Rufus spelled backwards, come on, congratulates him, confirming that Rufus, his secret identity, is now exposed. So that rattles the president, the new president. That's what I got out of this scene, y'all.
Yeah, I feel like there's a few things to take away, but all of that went out the window the moment you took your hat off. But I'll try to channel it back for a second. No, I think this entire conversation between Glenn and Rufus is really just Sephiroth, Junon, like, it's almost mocking him, not just at the end, which is a very obvious mocking, but even going back to the Promised Land thing, I feel like just throughout this entire conversation, it's just constantly doing and saying things that are getting under Rufus's skin.
Yep.
And this is really when we're getting introduced to him at the height of his power. I mean, dude, right at like the start of the like this episode we saw during the cutscene when he gets out of the helicopter and so he loves being president. He gets that smirk on his face. He's feeling it. I mean, we're gonna see he likes flexing his power with the cannon and all that. He's really feeling this. But right at the start of his step into power, what's going on? He's got this digging at him, mocking everything that he's trying to set up the Promised Land. He wants to, start chasing his vision. And you got a relic of the past, which we find out later. He says, "I'm done with those." When talking to Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith, he's kind of getting haunted by the past here. Mm-hmm. And it's not how he wants to start this at all. And you can tell it pisses him off by the end when he like slams his fist down. Rufus is not a man who cares about the dealings of the past. He wants to deal with what, he's always looking forward. Mm. And I feel like a big thing with this character is anything that's bringing back his past, whether it's his father, Glenn here, Sephiroth, anything that's got to do with the past, he's just over it. He wants to bring on a new Shinra. So for this guy to show up on his inauguration day or welcoming ceremony,
we're going to see a little bit more of that here in a bit, huh?
Yeah. There's going to be.
So I enjoyed this
for sure. Like I got some more stuff to say on that topic too. So that's awesome that you brought that up. Now my next note here, and I have to find it. There it is, right there, because I think it is just really cool that they included this. Let's see. Let's get that loading. Come on here. Right there. Yo, they got the Ben Starr meme in this game. I got the Ben Starr meme right there from the Game Awards, y'all. Like this dude is just standing right there in the big sunlight, only in his face, just boom. When I first played the game, I took a screenshot of that and posted it. So I had to shout it out here for this analysis because that's awesome. And they also got more of these jet fighters. You didn't notice that? Like, look at this guy.
I never would have thought that if you hadn't pointed it out.
Yeah, so and this is also out there. We got to see even a closer look at those jet fighters. I guess those are the Relnikas, right?
Yeah.
Those are called the Relnikas. Yeah, so you got to think those things are they're on the freaking Top Gun carrier, like to get pulled.
We saw them in chapter 2,
off, but I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, the Relnikas are more like the dropship type.
Yeah, they're the troop dropships. They're in chapter 2. We get a good view of them when the troops are jumping out when they invade Calm. Those are Relnikas.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I know we got the Gelnikas.
Is there a difference, or did one become the other? Because I'm not clear on this point.
Did I mess that up?
I think Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Relnica is the dropship for the troops. Okay. Like the aerial dropship.
See, the reason why I would like go back on that is because the dropships look like they're cool and everything, but they don't look like they got the propulsion power that NPC was talking about at the beginning. Like they were like, "Yo, it's got retractable wings. It looks like the jet fighters." But yeah, and that NPC is referring to it as the Relnica when she says it's got retractable wings. It makes up for it in raw propulsion power. I don't think that's the dropship.
Now you're talking about that X-wing looking jet fighter.
The black jet fighters out there. I think those are Relnikas. I might be I might be.
I don't know. But wouldn't it be kind of cool if the dropship had more going for it than we? And it does have retractable wings and propulsion power. That's my goat. Maybe. That's my goat if it does. You know.
Yeah. Like, so the Relnica is the big. It's got like 4 propellers on the front on the wings. Okay. It's got sort of a drop ship bottom, and it's like kind of a camo color, like a
I know which one. The ones from
yeah.
So what are we talking about with the black jets?
On the I don't know. This is just on the Final Fantasy wiki here. It's got that as the Relnica.
Okay. I think this one actually has what I was talking about. Is this the elevator that has the jet on it?
No, I think you passed it. I think when you walk into the hangar past Ben's Star. I think it's in the back right corner. Like I don't know if. Also, did you shout out our gameplay goat? By the way,
this is Gamers Prey. Video footage coming from Gamers Prey. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, so all the walkthrough, no commentary over there on Gamers Prey. So shout out to him. But yeah, anyways, just kind of we'll clear that up. We'll look it up, I guess, and figure it out. But I mean, it looks like the Excalibur said it was the Relnica there. Interesting. I'm curious of what the jets are called. Those jet fighters. The reason why I bring it up is because they look like they're on the freaking, what do you call that? On one of those the carriers that pull the jet and make them go. You know what I'm talking about, Top Gun style.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called.
Can you imagine when the weapon is attacking y'all? And because they're going to send out the full fleet. They're going to send out everybody. Send out everything. And they're taking off. They're freaking bombing it. Come on. Listen, man, y'all don't understand. You're not as hype as me right now because I'm
in my head right now, like trying to like map this out. Like how
I'm thinking about it, man. I'm thinking about part 3 as I'm in this chapter, and I think that is kind of adding to the joy that I feel playing this chapter. Is because I'm thinking about all the foreshadowing, all the teases that they're giving me here, and I'm just thinking about how epic. Because I mean. Look, the original game in this act, like the act that I'm thinking about, the final act of this game, is like a Hollywood blockbuster. So, like, part 3 is going to give Final Fantasy 16 a run for its money in terms of like scale, epic Hollywood blockbuster stuff, dude. And this moment here in Junon, with the weapon attacking, it's going to be so freaking good. All right, so back to
ready for the kaiju, bro. I'm ready for the kaiju.
I know, man.
I just want to see like how it looks to scale. You know?
Yeah. I want to know how big are they going to be? Because like,
how big are they going to be, and just how much destruction are they going to be able to cause? Like, I want to see airships, Relnicas, everything just getting wiped out as they're trying to take this thing down.
Because I'm picturing it out there in the ocean, so they can keep it like rendered at that quality out there in the ocean. I could see it like on the horizon or something like that, where everything, like when you're in Junon, the playable portion of this, or maybe even when you're on the freaking cannon doing the slap fight, that's going to be in there. You see the freaking weapon out there in the ocean, and all of the intensity, the volleys of freaking weapons and missiles and all that other stuff. It's going to be all around you as you're on top of that cannon. And I can see the weapon out there, and then I can see it going to one of those full-on rendered cutscenes of when the weapon gets close, and then the blast in the face and everything like that. But I don't know, man. It just has me so hype. So now, one of the NPCs is talking about how his wife is obsessed with Rufus, and
I was gonna say, have you guys noticed how much the ladies love Rufus? Like,
dude, I wish I made like a wife counter for how many times somebody said my wife is obsessed with Rufus, or just and not my wife, but my girlfriend was playing with me, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, babe, but I asked her if this is something that translates to real life, and she said, yeah. So Rufus, Rufus is a handsome man, and everybody's wives just wants to go see him become president. I didn't know everybody's wives was so into Shinra's state of affairs, but what do I know?
They are now.
Yeah, they are now. With this nice young buck president coming up to...
Right. People that had never tuned in are tuning in the world across.
On the elevator down, Aerith asks Cloud if he knows anything about Junon, and Cloud gives the most detailed description of how this is one of Shinra's most important cities, second to Midgar. It can transform into a military fortress, which is going to be incredible in Part 3. And once again, when the shutters activate, protect... Oh, so good. This chapter... listen, I'm getting ahead of myself, because in my notes, I was like, yo, this chapter has me freaking hyped! Like, it's in my notes! Anyways... Aerith was asking to see if there were any good restaurants, you know what I mean? Or sites to see. Listen, Cloud, with your brochure.
Cloud gives us a military spiel, and she's like, neat. Any good restaurants?
I'm just looking for restaurants.
Where do I buy merch?
Right.
Now listen, I'm getting
She wants the Rufus cutout.
She wants the Rufus cutout.
Yeah, Jackie.
That's it, man.
That damn cutout, it's not to scale. Rufus is not like 7 feet tall. I don't know, later on when the troops are taking a photo with it, it's like 7 feet tall. And I looked at Jackie, I'm like, I don't think this is the scale. She's like, no, it is. I'm like, oh, okay. So Rufus is canonically like 7 feet tall, just a heads up.
Do you think he's compensating for something? With those cutouts. Now, I want to get serious with you guys, all right? Because that's what we got to do here, all right? So Aerith, let's dissect that a little bit, where she's like, listen, I know this is like, dude, Daniel, it's a freaking like cute thing to say, okay? She's just here for restaurants and sightseeing. Don't look into it this much. But I'd like to look into it a little too much. There's a lot riding on this, but it's all psychological. I'm sorry, I had to say it.
All psychological.
It's all psychological. See, this is an opportunity for Aerith to see the world. You know what I mean? To have fun and to be with friends that she's never really had before. Right? So she's known her entire life is oppression and turmoil, right? So she's used to this kind of thing. So maybe she gets kind of swept away in it all, and then she just was like, maybe she forgets that sometimes when the rest of the party's on edge, and she's just like, any good restaurants, sights to see? I don't know. I'm just here to have a good time. This is great. This is a cool city. So I thought that was interesting to kind of note there, because I feel like every like little thing that these characters say, it always builds to their character, and I just like to kind of dig in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I would even add to that there's a chance that part of her, even if she doesn't remember, right, because maybe she lost this memory, but part of her emotionally still knows like where things are headed for her, and this is kind of like her once and for all trip through, all these places. Like, she's not coming back, right?
Yep.
Yeah, she's not going to explore the world like the rest of the party do. So, you know, I think maybe she's just taking in all that she can.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Brianna White said when she did that acceptance speech, man. I think that was like, what she said there was like perfectly encapsulated Aerith's character. I think she was saying something about like, life's short, enjoy it, something like that. So,
Barret in character.
Exactly. Barret is suggesting they kidnap Rufus here. So, he even shows a bit of mercy, Barret.
Yeah.
As he says, I'm not saying we kill the man. Just rough him up a little. You know what I mean? Just because he's Satan's son doesn't mean that he has to be. He doesn't have to be judged the same way. Right?
Yeah. The sins of the father may not like the sins of. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting, and there's a later scene, that I would kind of want to tie back to this point, so I won't get into it now. But it's really fascinating to me that they're already setting up that Barret isn't. Because this kind of conflicts a lot with what we understand of his character. He's very passionately anti-Shinra. So the fact of the matter is that when presented the opportunity to cut off the head,
right,
he's actually kind of and this man is not opposed to violence.
Right.
He's not. Yeah, it's not like
at the end of remake,
it's not like he's a
psychopath.
psychopath. Right. He's not like a psychopath or anything like that, but he's definitely not opposed to violence, and he's not opposed to getting his hands dirty for what he perceives as a greater cause. So the fact of the matter is that it's kind of interesting to me that he is over here like, yeah, we don't need to kill him. Especially when, just earlier in this chapter, he was just talking to an assassin who he knows is going to attempt to kill him at some point.
Right.
So it's interesting to me because you would think he'd be totally on board with that.
Yeah.
He'd be like, oh yeah, let's just take him out. But no, he's willing to talk. He wants to be civil about it.
And it's
as
cool.
civil as beating someone up for information is.
Yeah. Oh, hey, listen, we gotta rough him up a little bit. I mean,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, now, Aerith actually agrees, which I thought that was kind of cool too. Pointing out the contradiction, here, because we got the Turks saying that the party isn't their concern, and then Roche shows up at the Junon Inn, and then looking for him. So she wants to get some clarity on this. We got to clear this up. Now, Barret goes, we bust up his parade, right? He's like, we're going to do it. We're gonna go. I love that Cloud goes, no. That's how we die in a hail of bullets like a bunch of dumbasses. That was awesome, man. But what I love about this scene is that Cloud actually is coming into his own here as a leader with a more sensible approach. And even takes into consideration that Fatigues would never be able to conceal Barret and Red's identity, so he directs them to scout out the port. And everyone agrees with Cloud's plan. So that was a kind of cool moment for me, because it shows that everybody's on the same page here. Yeah. He doesn't give Aerith and Tifa an assignment. I feel like this was Cloud's way of trying to just kind of protect them. Not giving them an order, regardless, Tifa and Aerith end up, they love the idea of dressing up and joining the parade. So, but I just kind of feel like, why didn't he include Aerith and Tifa? Probably just to protect them, maybe.
Let Aerith go sightseeing.
Yeah. They want to go to restaurants. Go do your sightseeing.
You want to try that? You want to try that Junon tiramisu? Go ahead, girl. You want to go get that I love Junon shirt? Go right ahead.
I love cannons.
Yeah, I heart cannon shirt.
Cannons. That's sold at Junon, right?
Yeah, he just wanted to take the ladies so they could go see Rufus. That's all.
Yeah, actually, they were on there. They were gonna. He thought that they were going to go their Rufus cutouts, but, weirdly enough, they were actually interested in the mission. Who'da thunk? I thought all women were just swooning over Rufus, but
no, they're
you know what?
They're into this, man.
He's not everybody's type.
And then I like what Nori Hicks in the chat right now is saying. Cody has great line delivery, and man,
yes.
Wait until we get later on into this chapter. Oh. The performances are top notch. So, Cloud, Aerith, and Tifa, they find some spare uniforms and they go into their own changing rooms. Interesting to note, if Cloud tries to approach the ladies, they have some fun dialogue that goes from kindly saying, "What do you think you're doing?" to progressively scram, you freaking weirdo. What do you freaking do?
What do you guys mean? I didn't see any of this.
I did. No, I did not camera break. God, don't ask me, man. God.
While he was online for his Rufus cutout. He was. Yeah, I mean.
So but Gamer Spray did. So Gamer Spray did it for us, all right? Gamer Spray did it for us.
The real hero.
Cloud, what are you doing?
Thank you, Gamer Spray.
The real hero. Yeah, gotta get us those unspoken dialogue.
Is he gonna get to Tifa's No, wait, do it. No!
Oh, he didn't get the scram?
No,
he's thinking about it. He thought about it. I don't know. Maybe I want to. Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. Hold on, I'm gonna go back.
He needs a running start.
Yo, Gamer Spray. He was like, I don't know, man. Okay.
Damn it.
He needs a running start. He needs a running start. He took it.
At that moment, he was like, "Maybe there's kids watching. I should probably stop now."
Dude, he thought there was a chest in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice
watch last week's episode. If you want to get
I don't want to talk to you, but just watch your chest.
He was just looking for Aerith's chest. Anyway, on a serious note,
gotta
did you
watch
guys
last
catch
week's
the
episode if you want. Or was that was that last week's episode? Yeah.
It was last week's episode, and actually somebody put a timestamp for that part. Although they meant in their comment had to do with the Naruto run when I said you runs like a freak.
Oh, yeah.
But the timestamp for some reason is attached to the Aerith's chest quote. So if whoever left that comment,
That's because
if you're here right now, either you got the wrong timestamp, but thank you because you timestamped probably my favorite from last week's episodes.
That's hilarious. It's hilarious that it lined up that way, but it's probably after I edited out the open. I always like edit out the whole mic tests and stuff, and then once I edit out the mic test, it changes up the time bar. Oh, that's funny though.
Hysterical.
That's so funny.
It lines up perfectly to me saying that quote. I'm not here to talk, Aerith. I'm here for your chest or whatever I said exactly. So yeah, in that case, whoever left the comment might want to fix it to the Yuffie run, or if you want to leave that amazing timestamp, you should, because that's a highlight.
For everybody watching now, they can go back and watch it anytime.
Before we move on,
go ahead.
Ooh, I did want to point out. Did you guys catch the name of the main scenario for this part when he gets the uniform?
What is it?
Hello, old friend is the name of the main scenario when he's walking up to the infantry armor. So when I thought that was really cool because it's him donning infantry armor like he was used to wearing when he was an infantryman. So I just was like, oh shit, that's really cool. Hello, old friend. Is
this darkness as well?
Yeah, it's darkness.
Is it darkness?
No, I just thought that.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Yeah? No?
Is it better? My mic. Well, no, sorry. I saw a comment about my
reference. Yeah. Your mic when you get close to your mic, I think it cuts out. But when you're
Okay, so when am I good here?
You're good. I'll let you know if it happens again.
So did you hear what I said about the main scenario though?
Oh yeah. I heard everything.
Yeah, because hello, old friend. I thought that was really cool. Walking up to the armor or to the infantry outfit, and because this is not Cloud's first time wearing infantry armor or the infantry outfit. So
yeah,
I thought that was really cool.
Okay, chat, keep me updated because I can hear Lee pretty good. It's just every now and then, like when you get close to it, it'll cut out and then come back in.
I'll be mindful of that.
Just chat, keep us updated too.
As well.
So yeah, Cloud even comments that, hey, it's been a while when he picks up his trooper fatigues. After getting dressed, he's ambushed by Tifa and Aerith. And then they're having a blast. They're loving this until they're caught by the commander. Adjutant? How do you say that word? Adjutant?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're going with your pronunciation.
I'm not saying it.
Cloud is falling back into this role very well. Like he's falling back into that, right? So and Aerith and Tifa just have to kind of follow his lead, but Cloud is back, like, sir, like he's in it. Like I got whoa, we even got the little march going on.
Right, the little
commander is hot. So the
commander,
what was that? The commander's
commander.
I don't
might
know.
Have a cutout to 7 feet tall. She's tall, bro.
Man,
she is tall.
She is tall.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know,
bro. You look like you about ready to get some hiking boots. And
I'm as red as her freaking dress or her outfit, man. You know what I mean? My God. So Cloud is quickly promoted to captain of the drill team after that stunning performance in the drill, right? Like the training thing. Even if you fail this, the guy he would be an excellent role model, though. I mean. You gotta think, like, if you can literally hit none of the moves and when you're doing the training, and they'll still think you're oh man, shining example, get him in there.
Okay, I made a note of this. I think it's later during the actual parade. If I were to critique something about this, I would say that for the rhythm sections, and this was in remake with the dance sequence at the Honeybee. I just wish that the cutscene was more dynamic, where if you're fumbling, you see them stumble a bit.
Yeah,
like if you miss the tap or something, and like Cloud twirls the gun, maybe like it just like goes Or he's like
scrambles
and
around
just
and has
like-
to pick it up.
just something like it doesn't need to be so egregious where it's like every single misinput leads to that. But if you miss 2 or 3 in a row or something, it'd just be cool. Because it doesn't seem like that would be too hard to implement, but I also don't know. I'm not a programmer.
Yeah,
An
like,
animator.
I can imagine that takes. What do you think, Wiley? It probably takes.
I mean, it's going to take more time and resource on something that they probably were just like, we don't need to do this. Like,
I'm
it's
wondering.
already. I mean, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, so like, let's say that you have a sequence that you fumble, you have to be able to sync that back up to wherever it was supposed to be, and if the music and everything was timed with that, you literally have to go through. The animators have a heck of a job trying to sync all that up. So.
My only way that I would think that would, and this is just a hypothetical, it's like when the scene cuts to the next angle or something. If you missed a couple inputs, it just changes which next scene would play. And that, I mean, again, I'm not. We don't need to sit here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Scenarios, but it's just to me.
I
would have
don't
been
know
cool.
why, but.
It's just, it's kind of silly when you could be either phenomenal or you could be absolute dog water.
Yeah.
But
and it looks
regardless, the only thing, it looks the same. It does have a con, which is still cool. I enjoy that. I like that in the honeybee, Aerith is either super excited that you killed it or she is just like, yeah, that was something. Or here where they're like, oh man, what a great performance! Or
even during the actual parade, which we'll get to, but even during that, they're like, oh, they look a little out of sync, and I'm like, nah, they actually look like they're pretty good.
They kind of look like they're flawless.
Yeah, they kind of look flawless. I don't know what you're talking about.
If this is out of sync, what do they expect from me?
Yeah,
so here's a question. Cool. So what's everybody's headcanon for why Aerith and Tifa can do all this first try? Is it my materia? They got my materia they're not talking about, or because I mean this is what everybody's not talking about, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I made a note of it. And we see it later too.
Yeah.
At the gold saucer with Yuffie and their dancing.
Yeah.
So are they just?
Well,
what is?
Hold on.
Is this a synergy? No, it's a synergy. That's my canon,
It's
actually.
synergy,
That's my head canon. This is a synergy move.
Well, in the gold saucer, I think Dio throws a materia at Yuffie at the beginning of that scene, and I was like, oh,
there you go.
I think that's supposed to be some kind of like hand waving for why she just outfit changes Sailor Moon style, and is doing all that,
But why Aerith and Tifa good at everything rhythm based? Why? How do they know the Shinra infantry ceremonial, gun displays? Why do they know that? I don't know. It's just they're goated. They're girl bossing. I don't know. Like they're just...
Speaking of girl boss, there she is right there, y'all. We got Elena's older sister. Now this is interesting because Elena's older sister was in Before Crisis, right, as a Turk. As I believe it was either handgun or shotgun or whatever her name was. But yeah, so she was a Turk. So it'd be interesting if she got like, I don't even know, demoted at this. I don't know if that's a demotion to come over.
Retired and just
I don't know. I like XCOM saying that this is the older woman that Cloud's mom was talking about. All right, they keep them in straight and narrow. She would do that for sure. So yeah, that is very interesting. That Aerith and Tifa can just like do this naturally. I guess we can just suspend the
if anything,
bring it back a little bit.
If anything, it would have just been slightly cool if, and honestly, it would have amplified the point that they're kind of showing here of how easy to snap back into this. It would have been kind of cool if we saw Tifa and Aerith struggling a bit more, but Cloud just killing it. That would have been pretty cool.
I would have liked that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's fun though.
This
whole
whole
fun to watch.
sequence, like the whole sequence, has like great comedy though. This whole we had great, deep, meaningful side quests and character and world building in Under Junon, and now that we're Upper Junon, man, we're getting the spectacle. We're getting comedy. We're getting just fun and funny moments, and like this freaking adjutant, like going through like the. Like as he's like eyeballing.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That was so funny. It was just so funny, man. And then this moment here, when they promote him captain, and like he just like lifts the helmet up and then just slams it down on his head.
Yep.
So funny. So I just love this little sequence here because now we're getting that comedy. Like this this whole sequence almost reminded me of that PS1 era Final Fantasy, and like even the Final Fantasies before, where they get really lighthearted and really goofy sometimes.
Yep.
So I like that.
I also want to point out that Jackie wrote here. Liam gets a perfect score in practice and screams, "Goated!"
Goated! Got him!
Goated! and we'll talk about what happened later.
Oh no.
Okay.
See, I didn't practice, and we'll talk about what happened later.
All right, so now let's see where we're gonna be at. The commander kind of looks like she has a thing for Cloud there, doesn't she? I don't know.
I said the same thing.
Yeah,
I was getting weird flirty undertones, and I know that
Oh, you're out. Your mic went out. Come back in.
I'm out.
You're back now.
You're in.
You're back.
All right. I might need to check something with this real quick, but all right. Am I good?
You're good.
All right, cool. I was saying, I know that the community loves to run away with the idea of Cloud and the like that, but I always just like, it's a stupid little joke. But some of the faces and some of the things that she be saying and she be making, I'm like, what are you laying here? What foundation are you setting right now?
What am I supposed to be picking up here? I don't know. I love how the whispers just come in and sometimes just take the words right out of your mouth. The whispers just come in and like, nah, we're not talking. Boom.
Bro got the Genova righted.
Genova righted. I love it. I'm so happy you finally brought that into this. You said like 2 weeks ago, and I've been wanting so badly to say it, and I was like, nah, I'm not stealing it. Genova
fair game now, baby. Genova
righted.
You got Genova
Whenever
righted.
you see whispers, it got Genova righted. Courtesy of Excalibur. Richard Stalls with the super chat. Thank you so much. Just curious while we're at it, this game mechanic was used for the dance in Remake and the parade for Rebirth. What's the predictions for its use in Part 3? Now, I believe you asked that question in the survey, so cool. We can answer it right now. What do you guys think? Because we got the Honeybee Dance. Now we have the Junon Parade. And obviously, it's going to be under the Highwind, if you know what I'm saying. They're going to be God of War style, y'all. It's going to be God of War style. Anyways, what do you guys think? Like, for real?
Wiley, you got something? Because I got to think.
Nah, man. My brain was, yeah.
I mean, that's assuming, I don't want to be that guy, but that's assuming that they carry it over. I mean, they have a very solid rhythm game mechanic here, so you would think they'd want to carry it over. They've done it twice now.
Oh, but Mr. Bigglesworth says slap fight. That could be epic. I would.
I know Dan's not. You've expressed some interest.
You know my thoughts.
I know your thoughts, but I think that it would be cool to maybe start with the slap fight as a rhythm game, and then I don't know. Like, to me,
I love cannons.
I love Anon.
Yeah, he loves Anon. So while we're talking about the slap fight,
yeah. What? Yeah, I mean the big cannon. Yeah, big cannon. Yeah, big.
But there's a lot more cannons up there than just the Mako cannon. Sister Ray. There's a few sister rays up there. They're in the slap fight. That's what I'm saying.
Bro, what the?
I really love cannons.
What the hell was that quote? There are some sisters more than some more sister rays.
There's some sister rays up there. I almost wanted to keep it just to keep you going.
I can't wear the shirt without popping off, son. Okay, relax.
I almost wanted to not say anything just to see how many more you'd come up with. Hey man, there's some cannons up there, more than just cannons. There's some sister rays up there. If you're
some sister rays.
It's a slap fight, huh?
Listen,
so,
you'll get more canon jokes later. You'll get more canon jokes later.
I think. All right, to answer the question, I think slap fight is probably the strongest contender.
I'm trying to.
I know you don't want it, Dan, but
yeah, I like the idea that we're on a platform that is that doesn't give you any room to move like this way, left and right, but only like it's very 2D side scroller fighter, right? Give me freaking Tekken, like give me that Tekken fight. That would be so cool, man. Like an actual fighting game. That's the new mini game. It turns into a fighting game. That'd be awesome.
Unless they wanted to put in the gold saucer, just throw an original game, some sort of way to implement the rhythm game. I don't know what else you would do with it. I mean, I wouldn't mind
like
that.
Dance Revolution style, but in the golden saucer, just a straight.
I mean, we've
up.
seen Cloud breakdance. Just
I was gonna
have
say
them do that to a rhythm game.
And Future Memories, when you arrive at the Gold Saucer, they do have dances, like dance-offs and stuff. So maybe it's just a mini game with multiple different tracks to dance to. That'd be cool, like almost like Rock Band style. Like give me, like like a Guitar Hero. Like you got a music selection and you can dance to it, like each song, and they all have their own little button prompts. It'd be fun, man. I like that idea. I'm all aboard. All aboard. You know what I mean? That's all aboard, man. We're talking about boats.
We are talking about boats.
We're gonna be talking about
cannons
boats
and sister rays.
And cannons.
Sister rays.
Yeah. There's gonna be some sister rays up there, if you know what I'm trying to say. If you get what I'm putting down.
That was a quote, Wiley.
Well, so and here, so while we're on this topic,
yeah.
It doesn't get named the Sister Ray until like later in the OG, right? When they like refitted in Midgar. But
yeah, because they call it a Mako cannon, right?
Yeah, but in Junon, where all the soldiers are hanging out in front of the models, that all the models say Sister Ray right on the box.
They do say that.
Yeah, I was like, that's interesting right there.
Yeah, so that gets us to the next point, basically. We're in charge. Cloud is the captain, and we got to rally the troops. We got to go assemble the 7th Infantry unit, and you kind of get a little tour around Junon in the same time as the troopers are all over. They're scattered all over the place. You got a few looking at the Sister Ray Cannon model, the 1 in 4,000th model, I think it was. So that's cool. Square Enix, when are we going to sell that in the store? Actually, I'm a little concerned. That would probably go for like
actually
$3,000. Yeah,
right.
So
break the bank.
Yeah, exactly. Then you have the group looking at the cannon, like, oh my god, like we haven't used it in years, not since the war. The instrument of death laid to rest is what it's kind of poetic. Is what one of the guys say. And then, anyways, you get in your process of finding everybody, you can come across Red, who is surrounded by kids who think he's a dog. He doesn't want them to pet him, and he says, "I may be clad in fur, but that doesn't mean I'll purr." I was like, "Oh man, look at this Dr. Seuss guy."
Take some notes from Wiley.
Yeah, I actually made notes about Red here. Like he's acting like a tough guy around the kids, like he doesn't want to be pet, and his comments on getting further from Midgar too, kind of like getting back to his nose and all that. There's like this running theme.
Yes.
Now I have a question. If this was Red after the Red persona drops and it's he's all Nanaki like, you think he'd be chilling with those kids? You think he'd be totally just like goofing around, balling with them? All right, cool. I just wanted to, not a deep question. I just wanted to know what you guys, because I was every time he's getting harassed by kids. I don't know if he likes it, but I feel like he wouldn't. I don't think he like. All right, wait. I'll challenge this point to a degree. I don't think he likes being treated like a pet.
Yes, exactly.
But there's a difference when he's putting on this persona versus if he's going along with it. Like I feel like he, as a kid, and when he's like more Nanaki and kid-like, he's just way more goofy, and he'd be willing to have more fun. Like, so I look at this scene, and I'm thinking to myself, I know the man you're about to become.
I know the
the
boy.
I know the facade you're. Yeah, I know the boy that you. The man that you are. It's like the man that you are, the man you pretend to be. I know the boy.
I know the boy.
I know the boy that's in there. But I don't know. I just watch him. I watch him playing with the kid, or getting harassed by these kids, I should say. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I feel like if he wasn't trying to put on tough persona, he'd be way more into it, just goofing off with the kids. But I don't know. Not really a deep point, just something that I thought while playing it.
But it does add to like what Excalibur was saying, is also where he's like, hey, this has done wonders for my faculties. Like leaving Midgar has done wonders. Yeah, although Junon is starting to get to him a little bit too. But it's awesome to see as we're tracking these characters throughout this analysis. We're kind of tracking their development, and Red has been pretty insecure about his nose. His nose. We talked about that last week. Yep.
No, we had take a shot every time I brought up Red nose. And but for real, I noticed that too. He's like, the further he's from Midgar, he's smelling things better, and it's cool. And there's something later that's kind of subtle, but there is something later that emphasizes his nose as well. And I also want to point out that Tifa, I gotta find the note on it because I think Jackie wrote it. But he recognized Cloud and friends from Scent, and Tifa says to him, "That is some nose you've got," in a very cheery, chipper voice. And it's sweet seeing them because I think by this point, as we the audience have picked up how much he mentions his nose, the party's probably also mentioned just how bothered he probably is by his busted nose.
Yeah.
So
the little words of encouragement, they're like, words.
We saw it with Cloud earlier in the chapter with just asking him to sniff out Kyrie. Yeah. And now we're seeing encouragement with Tifa saying like, "Oh, that's some nose you've got there, Red." So I think in a lot of ways we're seeing him kind of grow more confident, and it's cool.
Yeah.
So I like that.
And one of these places where the news reporter is at, there's the trooper hiding behind the pool table. This is a callback to the OG. This guy is in the OG, like the lazy guy that's like hiding, doesn't want to do anything. He's in the OG. That's cool. I'm glad they brought him.
I love his quote. I didn't write it down, but also I want to point out that Jackie refers to him as a strange critter in the notes.
Strange critter.
She says strange critter likes hiding behind pool table while on duty.
Oh, that's great.
I like that.
So we're gonna go over here to the bald bar. Let's get to it.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, this is Doctor or not Dollar, the Excalibro. This is Wily. I was gonna say Dr. Wily from Mega Man. So this is Excalibro's best rebirth, right?
Or best birth.
Yeah. No, this is in the OG. Yeah, it is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I actually didn't recall this.
Yep.
I must have went this on my original playthrough. That's awesome.
Yep. They tell you have to take your helmet off, too, if you go in the bar.
This is when I was going to take off my helmet. Or my hat. But there it goes.
Wait, Wiley, we can't enter.
No,
you guys can't enter the bar. I'll take it from here, boys. So, nah, man, come on. Go, uh-oh. Oh, my God, he did it.
All right, we're good. We're good.
Nice. I like the shades, bro. The shades. Oh,
by the way, Wiley, the bald cap I bought, it wasn't going to show up till tomorrow, so I had to stop at CVS and buy freaking pantyhose.
It works.
Oh the lady stocking the shelves gave me the weirdest look as I was searching through panty liners and pantyhose to try and find one that matched my. Here we are now. It was worth it. I hope she's watching.
Sorry, Dan. We plotted this against you like 3-4 days ago.
Oh my God!
I figured it would be rude of us not to join you. I was like, I see where this is headed.
Oh man, I wasn't expecting it until you started doing this, and I was like, "What is he doing?" Oh, this is beautiful.
No, we're not as committed to the bit as you. We'll give you props for shaving your head.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Squeaky.
You ready?
Yep. Squeaky.
Timu rude. No, please call me impolite.
Hey,
how
Dan.
uncomfortable has that been the entire time?
Oh man, can I take it?
I've been sweating.
No, yeah, you gotta get through it. You gotta get through it.
Wait, we haven't left the bar yet. We're not done talking about the ball bar. You gotta leave it on until we leave the bar.
Hey Dan, would you say that Rude is the head honcho of the Glabrescent? Listen, if it was my bar, I would call it the bald spot.
My God.
That's fired.
This is great. This is great. Oh my God. All right, walk me through it, Excalibur. Why is this your best rebirth?
Oh, bro. Well, first of all, because it maybe gets some skin in the game. You know what I'm saying? So.
He's like, yo, whoever commented about those dad jokes not being here, he would hardcore into him.
Right.
Yeah, thanks for shaving the day, bro. You really gave Wiley the inspiration.
Right. And that has been our Chapter 4 analysis. We're just going to shut this one down right now.
Right. Oh, man. No, I mean, so legit, when I was playing the game, this part made me laugh out loud multiple times. Like, I just kept laughing throughout it, and it was just such a good surprise that, you know, just on that first play, like, very few things, except for maybe one thing in the next chapter, had the same level of, like, knee-jerk gut reaction from me. And yes, I love this part, man. Like, I could easily say Roche just as a whole, right? Because you know I love Roche, but I put Roche in there for something. A little spoiler alert there. It's coming down the pipe, and I'm going to talk all about Roche when we get to that spot. I really just felt like this should take something. So this is my best rebirth.
Jackie wanted to point out that the bald people listen to the bald people music. It's on the radio all the time. It's just on repeat.
What is the bald people music?
Well, the bald people song, the whatever, like the song that they sing.
Yeah, they're saying
it's on the radio
or something like that.
Yeah, it's on the radio after the scene plays out. It's in the back corner. You just stand near it. They're just listening to it.
Bro, I was sitting here wondering, what is bald people music?
Hey, you gotta sing the song, man. You gotta sing the song.
Dan, we're expecting you to have memorized the song.
I didn't remember the song, y'all. I didn't remember it. But hey, since you guys are bald, we can do this.
Yeah, no.
I'm not gonna Google the lyrics or anything.
Right. Man.
Well, I can't hear anything. You gotta remember, we're still in OS nonsense.
I love that I turn it on. It's like, make it gleam, shine for everyone, and then it cuts off, and they go, like look at that. Rude. You mind? These guys in here. This is great. I love this scene as well, man. It's not my best rebirth, but I'm glad that it got into the game. Like it was taken from the original. This was a scene in the original, like a whole thing. So cool.
I did not remember this being in the original, so that's really cool. Thanks
not to this degree. I mean, man,
so great, dude.
I just also want to point out the logo going into the bears a striking resemblance to Rude, and then the guys also say, "Hey, Rude, do you mind taking?" So maybe this is headcanon territory, but you think that Rude's like the major headcanon? that Rude's like the major like benefactor or something. Like, he's the one that's like keeping this place afloat because their business model is extremely limited. It relies on a very specific demographic, but I like to think that Rude comes here to just unwind with some peers, and he's probably just single-handedly keeping this place afloat. Because there's no way Junon has that many bald people here on the regular.
Hey man, people want to be like Rude, People want to be like him.
Right. People shave to go in, bro.
Dude, yeah, really. A third of their client base leaves when Cloud says, "All right, get back out there." How is this place running? It's got to be Rude. I think that's really funny if you think of it. Just Rude keeping this place going. Place to unwind.
Yeah. I also like that I like that when you come out here, in every little place you visit, the crew that you've assembled will say something to you. Another thing that just made me laugh was like, "I'm looking forward to a celebratory drink, sir. Can't wait, sir." Like, that's so great, man.
Yep.
And like, did you find what you were looking for, sir? Hope so, sir.
Dude, the trooper dialogue was great during this, but I'm sorry, Timu Rude or
you guys,
Impatient.
I'll take mine off
is
too.
Leaving. Yeah, maybe I'll leave the shades on though. Oh yeah, here, you guys want to?
Oh look, man, there it is. Wait, look! Oh my god! out of context. I just want that like, hey guys.
All right,
Yo.
now I'm looking more like Albert Wesker.
You're looking like, oh, that is true. That's a good drop too. I was thinking you're looking a little more like Glenn with the hair, man. Like the hair was going.
Oh yeah,
Glenn
dude,
style there.
This is pantyhose hair.
That's
like
that was great, boys. I'm
Y'all-
so happy
y'all
you
ever
guys
have
did
pantyhose
that.
head?
I'm so happy you
Bro,
guys did that.
that's the best $8.99 I've ever spent, bro.
that was the best $8.99 that I spent. That didn't happen, so I had to spend another $7.99 box. Not to mention
$7.99 on pantyhose.
Yeah, and then
How
not
do
to
you-
mention like the
how do you
$13
ladies do
one
that?
that I bought.
That's crazy.
Yeah, really.
It's crazy.
I bought another box, and thank God that I bought this one because the other one was the first one I bought, and it was significantly tanner than my head was. So that was really, really ridiculous.
Mine didn't match either, bro.
I don't care,
Not even
man.
close.
That was hilarious. Oh man, good stuff. Good moment there. Thank you.
Wait, I can drop
So-
Albert Wesker, and I don't know where my hat went.
Uh-oh.
Just,
did
the
my
hair
hat-
looked like Ace Ventura now. I love that.
I know.
With the hair
Wesker down.
swooping up. I love that.
Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of Ace Ventura, hey
Oh,
Dan,
you know. Yeah, what's up, man?
how did Barret get dressed in that sailor suit without hurting himself?
How did he do it?
You're gonna love this.
Yeah.
He used the button hook pattern in super slow mo.
I'm gonna execute button hook pattern, super slow mo. Love it. Thank you for that one. Again, the puns
You're
keep
welcome.
coming. All right, so you can change formations. You can make a. You can choose your difficulty basically, especially if you assemble all 10 of your infantry groups. Now, Aerith and Tifa will try to spook Sailor Barret as when we get up there. That was kind of funny. When you see Barret in the sailor suit. Now, I'm disappointed, guys. I'm disappointed.
Uh-oh.
Let me tell you. All right. When you
Tell me.
see Barret in the sailor suit, you think it comes to mind the classic iconic quote from Cloud. You look like a bear in a marshmallow.
Yeah,
A bear
I
wearing a
know, I was
marshmallow.
thinking it.
And he was set up perfectly to say it. Tifa goes, "You look," and I'm like, Cloud's
Where
gonna
is
jump in like a bear wearing a marshmallow, but he didn't say it. Why?
That is a little weird. That is a little weird.
Man, I was upset that he didn't say it because it seemed like a perfect opportunity to drop that in there. But basically, just Tifa goes, "Wow," and just laugh, and they like lots of giggling ensues. So Lone Star says in the survey, would you have wanted more exploration open world aspects in Upper Junon? Or was the straightforward design of this main story good enough for you?
I
Can
like the way what was set up. Go ahead.
No. You got something to say? You go for
No,
it.
I mean, I was gonna say that I feel like they did a good job of spreading out the different infantry units that you had to find.
Yeah.
So it kind of forced you to fully explore the area. And I don't really feel like it needed more, to be honest with you. It felt like a good amount for me. It could just be kind of riding on the coattails of everything that happened in Under Junon, and there's so much to do there. And that I really wanted to push forward into the big scene coming up. But it felt like the right amount to me.
I was just about to say, I think for this section of the chapter, we got a hell of a lot of exploration in the front half.
Mhm.
So to make this end more linear was totally. I did enjoy the amount of exploration, fun
Dude,
moments. You have the
I don't know what's going on with your mic, but you are cutting out every now
dude,
and then.
why?
I don't
Why?
know. Why?
Hang on. Why? Dude, honestly, hang on. This might be annoying, but let me see.
Okay, while he does that, yeah, basically my thoughts on it is that I enjoyed the linearity of this one. I mean, we did get some of the optional things of like assembling the infantry. You only need 5, but you can kind of go across, and it makes you explore the different areas too, right? It makes you go into the bald bar if you want to do that. It makes you find these cool, fun moments. So I enjoyed this being more like, hey, this is a fun, upbeat event spectacle. It's you're gonna be having fun up here, and we're gonna make that linear. So we're not going to let you go like, oh, I want to go all the way up to the next level of Junon and explore that strip. And let's be honest, I mean, it probably looks very similar to this strip. So we're looking we're looking at not much variety if we were able to go too far, like, and just explore the city, right? And plus, they want to keep you constrained. They don't want you to go up to the presidential office up there. They don't want you to go down to the submarine docks. Like, they want you to kind of guide you on this path. So I think it was perfect to keep it like this. And plus, you got to remember, man, this is part 2 of this chapter. This is crazy.
How does this sound? Do I sound...
You sound far away to me.
Yeah, you sound different.
Kind of hard to hear you.
Ah, dude, why?
Not sure.
Dan,
So
you once said that it's not Final Fantasy without a technical
it is true. Welcome to Final Fan TV. It's not Final Fan TV without technical difficulties. So while you do
Better?
Yeah, think so, maybe.
All right, I'm going to try without the pop shield.
Okay.
Because I feel like that was causing some issues.
Okay.
So hopefully I'm better now.
So far so good.
Okay, so far so good. All right, I'm just not going to move at all the entire episode. I'm going to pretend that I'm not from New York and not talk with my hands or with an extremely animated.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. I want the hype.
Yeah. No, but anyway, just to say what I was saying before, maybe I'll sound better now. Yeah, I liked it. I liked all the different areas that you could go to in Upper Junon. And there was just some cool and fun things to explore. I liked Sad Elena, and I was sad that we didn't get to see her in the gameplay.
Yeah.
Sad Elena killed me. I don't talk to me. I'm sad.
Bar. Yeah. She's at the bar with her head down.
You know what the name of the bar is?
Yeah, the smile.
Smile. Yeah, it's in French.
Yeah.
I thought that was really... So I had a question. Wanted to research this, but I did not have the time. What was I gonna say? Do we know the origin of Sephiroth's sword? Where that came from? Do we have an origin on that?
There, Ever Crisis has detail
There
on that,
is?
but I know what
Okay.
you're talking about. I do know what
Because
you're talking
there was a large sword, not exactly like the Masamune, but similar, on display in the weapon shop in Upper Junon. And there were people admiring it, and it made me wonder, because I wasn't sure if Ever Crisis went into it. I had a feeling they might with the young Sephiroth stuff. But
yeah, I honestly haven't been keeping up with it, but they do have some sort of Masamune history there. Like, I don't know what it is, but yeah.
Because I saw the sword and I'm like, man, maybe that's a cool origin story for the sword. It could be from Junon. I didn't know. Wanted to look into it, but guys, I work a lot, so I'm sorry. I don't have the time to
You're good,
be living in 24/7 Gaia,
So, quick, I don't know if this is going to fix your problem, Lee, but if you go into your settings, voice and video in Discord, and see if you have noise suppression on, and see if that does anything. If you take off noise suppression and it sounds insane, I'll let you know to turn it back on. But just try that out.
That sounds insane.
So
wait,
now,
voice and video.
Well, you do that.
Suppression.
You do that. I'm gonna go through this.
Yeah.
So Cloud steps in front of his team to give a motivational speech. The troops stand at attention. Aerith encourages him. So future memory here. This is sort of kind of mirrors when Cloud nods at Aerith to encouraging her to speak at Cosmo Canyon later on. So keep that in mind when we get there. Cloud's like, the whole world is gonna be watching us, so like, let's not mess this up, man. Like, that would really freaking suck. Like, can you imagine, like, people watching us and then we just like mess up? Like, people, man, like, crazy. Anyways, like, you guys probably, and then Aerith thankfully steps in and like, yo, let me support Cloud real quick. So, I thought it was interesting here because Aerith calls Midgar their great city. I thought that was like, it was weird hearing Aerith say our great city of Midgar, right? Like,
do I sound insane? Because I really want to jump in on this point, but I don't know if I'm going to sound... All right, do I sound good?
So far, you sound good. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay. I really want to jump in on this point. So, because during this speech, when Cloud's fumbling at the start, and the girls jump in to help him, something jumped out immediately, and it had to do with what they were both talking about and how it ties into the greater themes of the earlier end of this chapter. You have Aerith speaking about Midgar's pride, and she views Midgar as home. The slums are her home, and she speaks on that, and she's saying, like, because she's speaking to the 7th Infantry, who is from Midgar, you take this home. We're gonna take bring this medal. Tifa, when she jumps in, she's speaking about how we got to put trust in our captain.
Yeah.
And what was their discussion about earlier in the chapter? It was trusting each other, putting confidence, having faith in one another. So the two of them are speaking on things that are super relevant to their internal conflict. Aerith is homesick throughout the early part of this chapter, and Tifa's trying to resolve an inner conflict with how she feels about Cloud right now, and how she needs to put more trust in him.
I'm so freaking happy you said. I literally have these in my notes, man. That is awesome. I'm glad you picked up on that too.
Awesome? I love that at the end of this speech, they reinforce each other's points with their final words. I don't know if you caught that, but Aerith's last words are, "Isn't that right, sir?" She says about their captain. And Tifa says, "Bring it home," which is everything that Aerith was just talking about with Midgar being home.
Oh, dude. That's cool stuff, man. I love that you said that too.
And between the both of them, they gave Cloud that comment. I love that.
Yeah. Like they gassed him up so much that he gets all into it and then they have to pull him out.
Yeah, they have to reel him back.
Man, I know that feeling, y'all. I'll never forget, man. I'll never forget, they had to pull me away. Like when I was at E3 2019, I'll never forget the look on their faces, man. Whew, it's called overhypneosis. It's like when you
overhypneosis.
Yeah, you get like a trance of just overhypeness, and yeah, it happens, man. It happens to the best of us. Happened to me, and it's kind of wild.
And you are the best of us, Dan.
And thanks, man. Thanks.
If it happened to you,
if it happened, hey.
Before we move on, do I sound good? I just want to make sure I sound good because
you sound good. You do sound like maybe you cut out sometimes, but it's not as bad as it was before. So you're good.
Okay,
you're good.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah. So, just to kind of add on to what you were saying there, because I also thought that was interesting. So you were talking about homesick. You were talking about Tifa putting her faith in Cloud, even though he's fumbling right now. That we agree, we align with Tifa's perspective, but I also kind of want to add to Aerith here, as Aerith is talking about unity. Like she talks a lot about coming together. What does she say here? And she makes the similar speech. I'm sorry, future memories, but all of this stuff is kind of complementing each other. She makes another similar speech later on in one of the best scenes in this entire game, where she's talking about coming together, and I'm going to bring this up again later on because that echoes, it keeps foreshadowing here. But her words are about overcoming a great challenge where failure is not an option. So as long as they are together, they can win. Right? So she's kind of speaking on this entire game, right? Where she's speaking about we have to come together to overcome Sephiroth, this impossible challenge. And then whereas Tifa and her entire game, her entire story arc, is all about putting her faith and trust in Cloud even when he's fumbling. That's what I got out of it.
Interesting.
So yeah, Cloud goes into overhypneosis, man. He gets into it, bro. He gets into it, man. Overhypneosis. He's all up in their face, like, what are we gonna do? When? What does everybody want? No.
Dude.
Oh yeah.
What I love about that though is, it's fun seeing him get hyped up because usually he's not so animated. So to see him kind of getting animated is cool.
Yeah.
But I think this plays into one of Cloud's greatest strengths in his character, in that he's an exceptional soldier. Not soldier. He wasn't an exceptional soldier, but he's an exceptional infantry. This is where he excels. This military-esque setting is just it speaks to him, and I kind of enjoy that about his character, is that he's not really good at most things, but this is what he excels at. He excels at that infantryman mindset, keeping into that military.
And Zack was never an infantryman. This is Cloud coming into his own here. Yeah. This is him. So I thought that was picked up on that.
That title, right? The title, the little subquest part coming in here could be a call to that too. It's like he's coming into himself. Right?
Yeah, hello, my old friend. It's me
it's
again.
Cloud, not Zack.
Yeah,
right.
Like that. All right, so here we go. Rufus stares down at his massive cannon.
Well, hold on.
Just dreaming of firing one off, yo. What do you got, man?
Did you guys catch that? There's like one of the ads is Gus from Under the Golden Saucer.
They called that his book
on the outlaw life and autobiography.
Yeah, his book.
Like, what is this, man? And, like, just a minor detail. Another one that I caught is the accessory shop owner used to be a soldier, and if you talk to him, he's coughing and he's like bent over the counter. So.
Yeah, because that's I feel like that's a callback to the original too, right? I feel like
it is.
Yeah.
But it's also playing into what we know about soldiers.
Yep. Yep.
In
Broden,
this game,
foreshadowing. Broden, right?
Yeah,
that's his name. Yeah.
Broden. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Continue.
No, that's great. That's awesome. I saw that as well, and then we missed a few last week with the dolphin of Zell from Final Fantasy VIII, the poster there. And I believe it was Sephiroth's game talking about, I might be mistaken there, or Centurion, but talking about how we also missed in the Junon Inn, there was a post, like a callback to Terra from Final Fantasy VI.
Really?
I missed that. So,
yeah, me too.
Let's see. Now, we're going to get to the point after this little overhyped Neosis segment. We have Rufus staring down at his massive cannon. Right? You know what I mean? I do that sometimes. It's been far too long, and I love cannons. Not well. I like the sister rays that you were talking about earlier. 5 years to be exact. So let's blow the dust off of this thing, and Haiger is just elated. Man, he's just like, yo, Rufus's display of aggression here, man, gets him all giddy. Because even a ceremonial shot would violate the ceasefire with Wutai.
Man, he's a bit of a loose cannon. You might say he has cannon balls. Sorry. Listen,
you broke on that one. You broke.
Dude.
What did Rufus say when someone shot the sister Ray without his authorization?
What does he say, man?
You're fired.
God. Yeah, that was one of those ones that you said earlier, like, hey, man, some of these are purposely bad.
Yeah,
dude, if I was in his position of powder, I'd be doing this.
Why did you say that, though? Like, don't. God. Position of powder. God.
That one wasn't great. It's one of my better ones. Usually.
Listen, you got to stay ready to pop off.
Oh, wow. All right, y'all, we're going to move on. Because you didn't even write that one down. Yo, we're treated to another beautiful CG rendered cutscene here of the arrival of Rufus. Now, as Rufus Shinra is in the car, he's doing his thing, stops the car, gets out, and says, "Welcome to the New World Order." And then fire! And then he does the Tony Stark pose. Anybody else know that? Everybody else catch that? Catch that?
You can.
He does the Tony Stark pose when the missiles fire off.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Straight from Iron Man 1. I thought that was a callback. Maybe it was just something coincidental, but
this glorious Roche in the cutscene here.
Oh man, glorious Roche. Look at this the cinematic, man.
I like the Mako you can see in the car. That's sick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I didn't notice that at first. That's cool. Mako
this thing reminds me of the Regalia. I don't know if it's just me, but it does reminds me of a white Regalia.
Yes, chilling with the boys, the Choco Bros.
Bros.
All right, so now he's gonna get out and he's gonna do that thing. But super cool here. Now Astro Zach.
Says, that's screenshot. No, dude, that's my postcard.
That's the postcard, dude.
Yeah, dude. That's postcard from Gaia.
Yep, postcards from Gaia.
This goes hard. You're free to screenshot. It's that is that moment where he's standing and looking up at the cannon.
Boss.
And under his jacket he has a shirt on that says "I heart cannons." He's just looking right there, dude. That's one of the cleanest shots in this game
with the confetti. Oh man, yeah,
dude, such a good shot.
Do cars require gas stations? I've never seen them. That's awesome, Centurion. Maybe Mako stations, little Mako gas pumps.
You just chuck a materia in it.
Condensed gas. I mean, it's just condensed gas. There you go.
Dude, it's just field off a materia slide.
That is the postcard from Gaia right there. That is an amazing shot. I had considered, because this whole chapter is so beautiful that there were so many postcards like that. That's a postcard from Gaia. Like, there's
Gaia.
so
Like,
many
it's so
freaking beautiful shots. When the helicopter was coming in at the beginning of this, amazing shot. Another one. But yeah, this is where the Tony Stark thing happens there. That's how Daddy did it. That's how Shinra does it. And it's worked out pretty well so far. And he's going to do it. Boom. And then, awesome. So,
Yeah.
Astro Zach says, what did you guys think of this banging introduction? Oh, man, he almost had a pun there as well. For His Majesty, fire away. I'm quite interested in Rufus' plotline in this series. So what did you guys think of this entrance? This is very different, right? We're getting into a more of a cinematic spectacle here. And then, of course, don't forget, there's Glenn from the trailer that everybody was going nuts about. What do you guys think? You like it? You like it?
Man, I thought it was dope, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, it was exceeded expectations on all levels, man. Like, it's exactly what you want to see. Like, it's total fan service, the whole thing.
Yep. And then we see Sung walk down the presidential office of Junon. I'm just going to call it the presidential office. There's surveillance capturing a robed man, that's presumably Glenn, as he slows down and pauses and stares at Aerith and the trooper fatigues. Sung's ringtone is Shinra Incorporated from the original soundtrack, OG.
I love that. I thought that was fun.
That's great. And Rufus is calling to say, leave them to him and have the Turks keep track of the robes.
Yep.
I want to point out something about that phone call with Sung. Because it plays onto something later that we see with Heidegger and his response to seeing Avalanche at the commendation ceremony. We know that the president was close with the Shinra board, and as close as like a bunch of evil people can really be, of course. But I wrote the way that I explained this when I was talking to Jackie as she was writing. To me, this emphasizes the point that the Turks are through and through their Rufus's guys, whereas the board, those are the president's guys, like his father. Yeah. And it shows because these two handle things so differently. Rufus puts his faith and his trust in the Turks because he knows they got his back. Mm-hmm. Unlike, say, people like Heidegger or Scarlet. Yeah. Whereas, we saw more from the president. He valued that board. He wanted them all under. And whereas it seems that Rufus, while he does control the Turks, he puts a lot of faith into their capabilities. And I just thought that was cool because later Heidegger's pissed off almost that Rufus doesn't want to do anything about them, at the commendation, and Rufus is like, oh, right. Not my concern.
Yeah, he's like stops him. I skipped the whole part here. I skipped the whole parade. So we do the parade. This is the parade mini game here. This is the final mini game of this chapter. So I thought, hey, let's rank them. I didn't even reveal the rankings before the show started either. Let's rank the mini games. This is the tier maker. We have first class. A, B, C, not interested. Okay, and we got all of the mini games. Let's do this really quick. Rapid fire. Piano playing. Where are we going to put it, boys?
Oh, boy. We're doing this rapid fire. We got to touch this up in an... A.
Yeah, I like it. I agree with A. A is what I was going to say.
Can A be $2,000? It's worth $2,000.
$2,000.
$2,000.
So we have a piano playing at $2,000. Now, Chocobo wrangling.
C.
C. Yeah.
I'm with you on that one.
It's okay.
I mean, come on.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know what? Right. As we go on,
C for Chocobo, baby.
As we go on, As we go on, we can move these up and down if they get worse or better as the game goes.
If we work out how we're going to do our minigame podcast, this would be a really back and maybe touch up during like an in-between podcast episode. So we'll lay the foundation now and maybe rope back to it later. Yep. See how horrible our takes were this episode as we were under pressure.
I can dig it. Hustle to Chocobo. That was just the training, the Chocobo
Oh,
training.
dude, not interested for me. I'm gonna be honest. If there was more to it,
Yeah.
I'd have put it higher. But just as a standalone, it doesn't
Now-
really do anything.
I'm gonna counter and say I liked it better than the Chocobo Wrangling. To be honest with you,
Yeah, I gotta go with you. I gotta go with.
Okay.
We'll put it at C. We'll put it at C.
average it out
Okay.
and see.
I don't
fine
know
with
why flower picking is here, but it's here.
That's not a mini game.
It's, all right, we'll skip.
not
We're gonna skip
interested.
that. We're gonna skip that. Yeah, not interested.
Not interested? No, just throw not if
Not interested.
not a mini game,
I'm
dude.
not interested in talking to you, Aerith.
No, I like
Just hit
I
your
like the
chest.
story beats, but it wasn't a game. Like,
Yeah, this
Yeah,
but
I
we're-
don't-
this
I don't-
isn't-
I'm not gonna put it.
story.
Fort Condor. Fort Condor. What do we think of that one this time around?
Oh shit. Okay, well,
that's
this time around.
Yeah, because intermission, I would have put this as first class.
yeah.
Intermission, I
I'm
would have put it that high, but it's
Yeah.
either low B or high C for me. They messed it. They messed up the
See, I'm gonna
collectible component.
say
Really did a lot of
B
favors.
or A.
Okay.
So where are you putting it, Dan?
Well, if it was, I'm gonna put it A. I'm gonna put it right there because I do think it's definitely not
It's still
first
a
class.
good game.
Intermission was for
Yeah,
first
C might be a
class.
little harsh.
Yeah.
I'll take back my statement. But I would stick with B. So we'll move it to A since you guys
We're a little higher on it.
like it.
Yeah, we're a little higher. On
But I'm not gonna die on the Fort Condor hill. Like I'm not, it wasn't even a pun.
It was unintentional.
It was just
It
saying
worked.
it.
Dolphin
worked.
Show. The Dolphin Show.
$2
And
grand.
I like that one. That's an A for me, bro.
Yeah, $2
Yeah.
grand. I like
Yeah.
this one. What do you think, Dan?
I go with it A as well. We'll put it above Fort Condor.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
That's good.
The Jump Frog Whirl Gig Whack. That was the
Nope.
one. The Whirl Gig Whack.
Both of these, top tiered for me. I love both of these games.
Yeah.
Veto.
Veto.
No.
That's like a C for me, bro.
Oh,
Like, these are-
my lord.
Okay, since Wiley is at a C and like we're both. You said first class.
Yes,
are you guys
wow.
both saying first class?
both of these games are first class.
I'm gonna drop it down here below
I'm just,
piano.
I guess I'm just not froggy.
How's that sound? But yeah, you gotta get froggy with it, man.
Dude,
What do
you
you
gotta
think?
hop to it and get better at it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for real, man.
Ooh.
Man, that's a jump off right there.
All right, now the Jump Frog Riveting Rollers. That one I can go lower. I'm
Okay.
down. I'm down lower
Oh,
on this one.
I thought we were grouping them together.
No. Both of these
Yeah.
are first class for me, but I agree. World Gig. Wow, my God, that's a tongue twister.
It is.
World Gig Whack is better. So yeah, I'm cool with dropping this one a little lower.
Okay,
This list is not cooking, says somebody.
wait.
That's why we're gonna come back and touch it up
This
in
is
a
already
in a
not
tweener
cooking.
episode.
I think Centuria said if you hate the piano minigame, then you're not musically inclined.
Man,
I'm not musically inclined, but I
mean, we gave
like
it
it
an
a
A.
lot.
It was
We
the
gave it an A.
thumbstick thing. Hey, we have it at the $2,000 at the top of A, right? Like I don't know if it's
Yeah,
S
no.
or I don't know if it's first class, just because I just the thumbsticks and it was something I feel like it could have been better implemented in some way. I know that it's really hard to get all of the keys on there. I would have loved.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I was always thought about like putting the controller down, like flat, and you have to play it like a piano. Like there's like left, up, right, touchpad left, touchpad right, square, triangle, circle, and then you can just kind of play it like that. Well, that would have been maybe cool, but I see what they were going for. This definitely allows for people to make their own.
No, that's the best part of it.
yeah. On PC though, this could have been integrated really well with a keyboard,
Oh yeah.
but it wasn't. But anyways,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I could make an argument
Yeah.
for first. I like it. It's up there in my favorites. I think because it was the first one, I didn't know where to put it.
Yeah.
In retrospect, I would probably put this in first class, but I don't know if you guys view it that high. If
I
I'm
mean, it's dope. I'm just trash at it. Like,
It's one of the premier mini games. I feel
this
It's
like
one they
really
obviously
is.
baked more than some of the other ones.
I'll tell you what, Centurion. As this series goes along, as I said, we're going to keep playing these mini games. We're even going to do a whole mini game show. It's going to be freaking fun where we compete against each other, and that
Oh,
is going to
no.
be super fun. I can't wait for that one. Yo. And we're going to do it live.
Oh,
we're going to
no.
do it
We're gonna
live.
crack. That's where I'm gonna crack 2 minutes on jump.
Yeah, we're gonna stream until you do it.
Yeah. Don't
All right,
say
this
that.
is the easiest one. Come
Ready
on,
for
y'all.
the 8 hour
Dude, okay, yeah, first class.
Yeah, first class
Yeah.
Queen's Blood. Come on. Junon Parade. Now we're here. We're at the Junon Parade.
Okay.
Let's talk
I
about
got to take. It's first class. I like rhythm games. I just
first class. I put it up there.
I like this one okay, so the freedom of piano is cool.
Yeah.
This one I think I like more because it plays into the story sometimes, so it's fun visually. I don't know. What do you think, Dan? You have an opinion. You have an opinion on this?
Oh no, I'm listening because I'm like, dude, S class seems right, or first class.
Yeah, I think
first class seems right. Like this game was so much fun. I love this rhythm based game. I think it was a little. Sometimes it gets a little difficult to track where the thing is going to come in.
Agreed.
I feel like it was better than it was at Honeybee Inn, though. I feel like that was sometimes really.
There's definitely a trick to it. Just don't look at where the thing is. Just look at the
thing closing,
the icon, and just wait for it to light up. And just ignore the rest of it. For real, so easy to do if you do that.
Like, that's good advice.
I figured that out on probably my last playthrough because I did very well this time around.
Nice. I mean, I got the commendation or the win as well.
We'll talk about it when we're through with the tier list, but I had the exact opposite experience. First time I killed this, and then when I did it on the replay, granted it was kind of late, and I told you guys I had a bit of a carbon monoxide incident, so my head was in the cloud. But I still did good on the score, but not enough to surpass Roche, I guess. So we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, not enough. So, I mean, I'm with you guys. It feels weird in a way to put it above, like, piano is in a different tier, but, I mean, this looks right to me, Centurion. It looks right to me. I don't know. So, there you go. There's our rankings of the minigames, and we'll come back next. Oh, wait, no. We're not done yet. There's another one, and we'll get to that in just a second. All right.
Okay, yeah.
So I did like this. This was really cool. If the Midgar mobile unit wins, Roche signs the camera. I thought that was fun with his autograph. Like Roche signs the camera. He does, it's super fun if Roche actually wins this. And then he boost jumps onto the stage
and nearly takes a Heidegger
and buzzes Heidegger's like ear.
On my first playthrough, this is like what happened for me. Like I just couldn't get the thing, or I didn't have the right formation to get enough points or whatever. But it was the
exact opposite happened to me on my first playthrough, and both times I did the same formation. I love playing rhythm games and shit. So this was just a lot of fun. Both times I did the hardest formation you could do.
Same.
First time, I killed it. Like I think Roche was very sad, and it made me laugh. No disrespect to Austin, but seeing Roche be sad that he couldn't keep up with my skills made me happy. You stay on your bike, you stay in your lane, Roche. I'm the king of the rhythm. But no, and then I played this time, killed it in practice, as Jackie quoted me in the notes. I screamed goated when I got great on all of them. And I thought I did good enough. I don't know if it's a hard mode thing, but the threshold is very high. I only got like 2 bads and like 3 goods. I wish I clipped it. And I still lost. I was like, what the hell? So
you almost have to be perfect. Yeah, you have to be like, almost perfect.
Because my score absolutely outweighed, by the end. I was like, holy shit, I did good. Can't wait to win this. And then that grease monkey's like, woo! I won. What the? What do you mean he won? They love me. The people are supposed to love me. So I was a little salty. And I can't wait to talk about this at the end of the chapter. I was even more salty at Roche during the fight, but it wasn't his fault that time. I'll get into that later.
We're getting that to later. Subtext said, did any of us get a perfect score? Took me a lot of tries, but I finally got it and recorded it. Is what Subtext said. Nice.
I've done it before, not this playthrough of this. Probably like playthrough of this scene. First time I didn't get a perfect score, but I got the award. Like I won the best performance.
Yes.
Second time I replayed it so that I could get a perfect score to see if anything came out of that. And then this time I thought I did more than serviceable. I thought I was great, and no, I wasn't. Apparently, I'm only a little salty about it.
I mean, this is I think I did not. I mean, I won the award, so you don't have to get perfect to win the award, right?
to win the commendation or the award? Because the commendation is scripted, right?
Yeah, of course. But like the award, like over Roche, you don't have to get perfect. I don't. No. Okay, because like I did win that in the first time I played it. This time around, I missed like one or I got a couple goods, and I was like, man.
It might be a hard mode thing. It might just be that the score that you need, or like the greats that you need.
It might be.
It might just be harder on hard. Would you believe?
Subtext says
hard mode is hard.
It might be hard. Subtext says no trophy for it. Subtext, we don't need any more trophies. Like we don't.
I would have taken a trophy.
We're good.
I mean, for that,
I would have.
I get it though.
For the effort. For the effort that I put in to get the perfect, I would have taken one.
I know, I get that. That is definitely a something worthy of a trophy there. But, Centurion, I know you're not being a critic. We're just having fun. That was fun. But that's awesome that you're a musician. That's cool. You play the piano? Centurion? Step your game up, says
Get good.
Get good, man.
I thought I was good, but apparently, that mullet-wearing grease monkey.
It's funny that Richard Stolz asked the question at the beginning, because here's my note. It actually didn't come from Richard Stolz. They just had the same exact question as Foreskinner in the survey, which we've already answered. But I really wanted to say his name or that name. Anyways, it's like it says the parade minigame was based on the Honeybee and Dance and remake. Will this minigame make a return in part 3? That's exactly what Richard Stolz. We found your secret identity. It's Foreskinner. You've given it away. Man, he's made 2 accounts so he can vote twice.
And now everybody knows.
All right, so Rufus makes his speech, praises his father and all of his accomplishments, and then asks for a moment of silence.
What a good act.
Yeah, great act. Yeah, for sure.
Great act.
His next words calls to mind some future memories once again, because I keep saying, this is echoing. It's very, or mirroring, I guess, that later chapter, that chapter 13. Future memories. Just keep it in mind. Is all I really want to say. I don't know why Rufus and Aerith kind of say very similar things, like the way that Rufus is talking. The challenges we face can be overcome if we summon our courage and cut ties with the past. And then yesterday is behind us. We must look forward, or we must instead look to the promise of tomorrow. And like Aerith, true strength comes from our ability to forgive and forge ahead in the hope of making things right. It comes from ourselves, so focus on the future, not the past. I just think that's kind of the forward thinking here. Rufus and Aerith have that similar speech, it almost feels like.
Rufus is an ancient confirmed.
Nah. Confirmed. Everybody was wondering.
Isn't that an actual theory that people have had? I feel like I've heard that. I'm not getting into this now, if it is, but I feel like I've seen or heard.
There's been a theory that Rufus is Cloud's brother.
Yeah. Well, they're half brothers. That President Shinra is Cloud's father.
There's been rumors of that as well. Yeah. I don't know which one I would take. Either President Shinra or Glenn. Either way, it doesn't.
Our options are really promising here. You can't just be a nobody.
So, during this, when he gets his commendation, or is it when he gets his commendation, or is it when he wins the award? I can't remember. But Cloud does his signature celebration, the twirl of the gun.
Yes, I love
with
that
little military saber.
Yeah. And then it has me thinking that. The rest of the set, there it is. He's signing the camera.
Yep,
that's great.
Love that.
So when Cloud does this signature move, right? This is the first time the 7th has seen this, if I remember right. So if the 7th are watching their idol right now, they freaking love Cloud. They see him do this. They're going to start to obsess over Cloud's victory move here, and it makes me think of a future past memory of OG when you are on the submarine. That's right. It's all coming back. It's all coming back full circle here. When you're on the submarine and the last group that you can either kill or you can take hostage. Before you do that, they're like, man, I got regrets. I never got to do that super awesome victory move. They want to do the super victory, and like so the captain is like, well, do it, and then they do it, and they're like, good, now you have no regrets. Let's fight. But like, so they do the move, and then but like, there's the 7th, right? So maybe when they turn around and realize it's Cloud, there he is, our boy, and they help him out, right?
That'd be cool.
I think even then maybe they got some wavering loyalties to Shinra at that point. Maybe, I don't know, but either way, it's Cloud. That's their captain. They ride or die with Cloud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw that out there because Cloud gets to do that victory move in front of him. Now, this is one of my favorite moments in the game, y'all.
Yeah, mine too.
This is it. So honestly, best birth, obviously. Because this is a brand new scene. I saw it was across the board
unanimous,
for us. Yeah. Yes. Rufus invites Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith to the stage and presents them with his commendation. He tells Heidegger to cut the feed so he can speak to these troopers in private. Barret catches on that something isn't right, and you can notice in this moment, because I really wanted it to come back around, right there. Wanted to come back around because we always got to shout out our boy Red, and we love his nose. We love his nose.
Yep. Oh, you caught this too?
I got it too, man. You got me looking at his nose.
I've ingrained the sniffer focus. You are so locked in sniffer now, dude. Yeah, I caught that, and it was so funny because I said, "Oh, whoa, he sniffed her out." And Jackie, I don't think she was looking at the screen for that moment because she might have been writing in the book. She goes, "What do you mean he sniffed it?" I think she was getting fed up with how much I was talking about this dude's nose.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, like that's so obviously him sniffing her out. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. He just needed that Tifa confidence boost earlier. His boy earlier in the chapter had him sniffing out Kyria. He's back. He's getting that.
Red is so back. That's what I got in my. That's what I got in my note.
Back, baby.
Red is so back. So. I want to play this sequence actually because it is one of my favorite moments in the game. I want to play this.
Well, remember we could watch on YouTube. We didn't do that last episode.
Well, you don't have to listen to it. Just look at the subtitles. Now, stop me at any point because I'm going to be stopping kind of frequently here as he talks. This is my favorite scene in the game, or one of my favorite scenes in the game. Not my favorite because I have a favorite. But I love this moment so freaking much. The tensions are high. This is all brand new, so I'm on the edge of my seat. It's nothing that's making me upset, right? So sometimes when I see new things in the remake trilogy, I've gotten more upset or more like, oh, please don't screw this up. Come on, guys. And I get really nervous. This one, I'm on the edge of my seat. I am into this. I am so enthralled on what's going on. So I'm going to play it.
I rarely talk to the rank and file. Why not take off your helmet? Cloud Strife. That was a first-class performance. One worthy of a
pause.
soldier.
I got a note here.
Yep.
So he knows.
Oh, yeah.
He knows that this boy wasn't in Soldier, but he's playing into his delusion. Yeah. Well, okay. You could say mocking.
Yeah.
Or feeding into his delusion because he benefits from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to benefit him if they stay out of his way. So it's a non-confrontational way. If anything, it's almost setting a more peaceful foundation. It's like, okay, he's like revering, or he's speaking positively on his past. He's like, oh,
yeah,
like it's like, oh, you're an impressive soul. Like it's cool, because especially when you put it with the line where he points out that he had a fascinating record.
No, let's get that. Let's get that. Hold on.
Yeah, it's coming right up here. Yep.
tensions are so high right now. Heidegger's watching. He remembers him from the escape.
He's fuming.
Yeah.
Yep. Clearly, he does not know what's going on.
When Cloud took his motorcycle and freaking just burn out right in front of him. Like, get out of here. Like, disgraced him last time he saw him.
This emphasizes that point I was talking about earlier. The Turks are Rufus's men, whereas like Heidegger is like the president's man. He has the interest of the president. And now that Rufus is the president, he has to act like, he has to act in the best interest of the president. But the Turks don't hold that same level of esteem for the president. They just like Rufus. I
like East Blue Drew. Say Shinra was playing chess while they were playing Queen's Blood.
But, sir.
He's pissed.
Yeah, he's not happy.
See, that run
still
looked
runs
more
like
natural.
a freak.
Yeah. It looked more natural.
She still runs like a freak.
Fascinating individual, Cloud Strife. Your file was as gripping as it was enlightening.
Oh, wait, and then...
Which is why I have a proposition for you.
All right, so I made my note here. Rufus knows Cloud's true history now.
Yep.
Now, is Rufus being sympathetic? Like, the mess that his father left behind here, and we're going to, as we go on, we'll hear him talk a little bit more, but the mess that his father left behind, and Cloud is just a product of that, like, mess, right?
Ooh, okay, that's an interesting angle.
I feel like this is why he's making the deal. Like, I feel like he's a little more sympathetic towards Cloud, but I also have a reason why he's making the deal. Like, I have, at the end of this, we focus in on why, but it seems like he's being sympathetic here.
This is where he's hard to read. Because on one hand, I don't think so at all. Like, I could see the point that you're making, that he definitely could be. And that's interesting because it in a weird way, that would complement the whole not caring about his father's plans, caring about his own vision. Because if anything, it strengthens the point of why he doesn't care about his father's vision. Because his father's vision created a lot of problems for people. And now he's getting dumped with all of them. Yep. At the same time, though, Rufus is a very complicated individual. I don't know if he, at this point, would feel sympathetic. Because he's very much into the idea of Fist. He likes the control that's coming with this. So on the other hand, I'm like, I don't know if he would truly care whether or not Cloud was, like, how negatively this affected Cloud, and if he feels the need to rectify. If anything, it's just an ends to a means thing. It's like, hey, you're useful. I can use you.
Exactly. And that's where it's going to come down to, like, and we're going to get to the end of this, but I just felt like I saw a shred of sympathy there, but it is definitely like, oh, I have a new piece on the board. Shinra was playing chess, and he's like, oh, I just got my freaking rook, or whatever you want to call it. I like the rook in chess. It's good stuff. But anyways, here we go.
At present, Midgar requires my full and undivided attention. The city is Shinra's beating heart. Its devastation is a humiliation, and the world must see us rebuild.
A humiliation caused by his father.
To that end, I need to refocus
not
my
Avalanche.
efforts and push certain duties to one side.
Get to the point.
My father left me a mountain of unfinished tasks, like the recapture of a fugitive of ancient descent, the recovery of a stolen lab specimen, and of course the arrest and execution of Avalanche. None of which, frankly, are of any interest to me whatsoever. I'd gladly wash my hands of it all.
So what? You're gonna let us go? Just like that?
Yes. Provided you keep your distance from Midgar, that is. No more stirring the proverbial pot.
And the same goes for me? But why?
Because I have a new vision for Shinra.
All right. What is Rufus's new vision for Shinra? He definitely seems to be set on finding the Promised Land still, but does this sudden change of heart towards Aerith and really all of it, like everything he's saying here is different, have something to do with how Rufus saw the Whispers at the end of Remake? I think this marks the second time in this chapter that someone's called him out on changing things up. Like, whoa. The first being when Glenn said that his father is dead. Or no, when he told Glenn his father is dead, so that changes the equation. Like, the equation has been changed. And then Glenn seems a bit surprised, it almost seemed like, because it was Rufus, after all, who put it together in the first place. So he was like, it just seemed to me that Rufus is changing things a little bit.
No,
I have a point, but Wiley, what do you look like you're...
Nah, man. I mean, so basically, I wanted to see the scene one more time, but my inkling is somewhere in the middle of what you guys are saying. So I do think that this, especially how he reacts to Cloud and the whole party right there, after everything that he said, it feels like he views a lot of what his dad did as creating different messes that never got cleaned up. And he doesn't really want to clean those up. He wants to do his thing. Like, it's his time. He's not about cleaning up his dad's messes. He's not about his dad's legacy. He wants to do something new. And so there might be sympathy. There might be sympathy in there because he's sort of acknowledging, in a way, right, that his dad did leave these loose ends and that these loose ends are messy. And he's not coming right out and saying it, but I do see what you're saying, Dan, about it's seeming very sympathetic, especially toward Cloud. And while it doesn't seem, it's not super explicit, it definitely feels implied. But I feel like the bigger connection is that just everything is sort of a mess. And he doesn't want to deal with that. He wants to move in a new direction, and obviously he's sort of got these puppet strings that he's attached to with Wutai and with Glenn, and so he's trying to figure out how to navigate all of this, like with his few, I don't want to say his few casualties, but he doesn't want any more loose ends. So he's just kind of like, he's just cutting it all off right now.
Now, I would like to propose a question here, because I find it fascinating that he's willing to drop the pursuit of Aerith right now, because one of his big goals is finding the Promised Land, and one of Shinra's best leads for that is the Ancients. And this is really their only known ancient they have left. And this is where I sort of question the sympathetic nature on display here, because I almost wonder, leaving Aerith with the party creates less tensions and less problems with the party. Therefore, Rufus has one less thing to focus on. Let the party deal with Sephiroth. I'll focus on building my new empire. If they take out Sephiroth, who's to say that he wouldn't refocus his sights on Aerith to get closer to the Promised Land? That's where I think, and how I almost view him, because it's not out of character, I feel like, for him to do something like that. But
so this is where I'm gonna bring it back around and kind of answer what I think what's going on here. But I'm gonna let this play out for just a little bit again.
Because I have a new vision for Shinra.
So we go free. And you get?
Sephiroth, dead. He's an unsavory relic of our past, and I want him gone. But in our current state, Shinra lacks the resources to get the job done. So I turn to you.
It's a deal.
You have a lead, I take it.
The guys in black robes.
Clever you.
You know who they are, don't you?
According to Hojo, they're connected to Sephiroth. Shadows of the Man, I believe he called them. Follow them and you'll find him.
Right.
All right, come on now. This is what I'm thinking. Rufus playing chess. He knows what he's doing here. Like you said, he's playing into Cloud's delusions, but he also knows what Cloud's experiments that have happened to him. He knows from Hojo that these experiments will attend the reunion. So this is Rufus saying, I'm not going to hunt you. I'm going to get out of your way, actually, because all I have to do is follow you, and you will take me to Sephiroth. Like, so Rufus here is just like letting him go because he knows that Cloud is going to be drawn. Follow him, or follow them, and you'll find him. And Cloud goes, right, because he already knows. And so does Rufus. Rufus knows you're going to follow him and you're going to find Sephiroth. And it's just him talking to him. Like, it's right there.
Yep.
So this is why I'm so skeptical of this sympathetic Rufus idea. Because going by this theory, it's playing on what the context he knows about the Men in Black robes and Hojo's experiments and what Cloud is, right? Yeah. So Cloud leads me to Sephiroth. Cloud degrades. Now I'm left with a defenseless Avalanche, not defenseless, but without one of their strongest members. I have Avalanche, who I can take over and pin the blame on, like we see him do later in the original game, and he's left with an ancient, who he can use to find the promised land. And that's how I view his angle.
So he's being deceptively sympathetic.
Yes, I think in his best interest at this time. Yeah. Well, he's being deceptive.
He's just being deceptive. He's not being sympathetic.
Charming.
Yeah.
Right. I think that, and you know what? Maybe there's a level.
I'm just saying because it ties in a little bit better with his character in Advent Children. Like if he has a shred of sympathy there, or
I think. Well, yes and no. I think it does. It could amplify the character, but I think it also could be very good character development because I think very early on. I mean, dude, when we get introduced to him in Remake, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna rule with an iron fist." He is so ready to just be the man, take over. Get things done.
What happened between then and now?
Correct. And I'm thinking that here, I feel that he's still on the Iron Fist side. I think he's just playing this much smarter.
Yeah.
He had a moment to collect his thoughts. He's a smart guy. He read the data. He knows what Cloud is. He sees what's going on with the other Black robes. And I think he knows that if ultimately Cloud leads him to Sephiroth, it leaves the others perhaps in a more vulnerable position where he could take them.
I don't know what his new vision for Shinra is. Like what his, I guess he wants to make it a world a better place. I don't know, but I see his end game or his objective seems to might have changed, like just from seeing the whispers. That's what I'm getting from that. Like, it seems like he's way more interested in finding Sephiroth, way more interested in where does this go than finding a promised land or using Aerith or anything like that. I don't know. He just seems, there's something about him seeing the whispers, making the connection, and then we're going to get that future memory of the last scene of this game where like he knows, he's onto it. He knows more than he's letting on. I feel like he knows more. He's been enlightened, I feel like. I don't know, guys, but I like everybody's analysis there. So we're gonna move to the moment where you take control of Yuffie.
I did have. Oh wait, actually, sorry, it's a little hard for me to see the subtitles. Did they agree to the deal yet, or does that happen while you're playing as Yuffie?
Okay, yeah, I'm reading. I'm sorry. Subtext says he did try to find Sephiroth in the OG2, hence him going for. Yeah, he was definitely more focused on Sephiroth in the OG as well. After this moment, it's interesting. I don't know. There just feels like there's something going on here. What do you think, Subtext? You feel like there's something going on that's a little off or a little different? Maybe it's just because this scene did not exist. But go ahead.
No, I just wanted to. I couldn't read the subtitles too well from here, but did they agree to the deal yet, or does that happen while it's happening?
So we're gonna catch a little bit more of the ongoing conversation. They don't agree to the deal, but basically they're saying like you'll hear Aerith saying, only if you promise like the Turks won't catch or come after us, nobody's coming after us. And then Rufus says, "You have my word."
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and they were about to make this deal, and then of course Yuffie interrupts.
Before we move into the Yuffie thing, I just was curious what you guys thought about, or what you guys would think, because I don't know if this is something you thought about. How do you guys think Barret would feel about this if he knew what was happening? Because they touch on this at the beginning of Chapter 5, where Barret says, "I honestly think the ninja did us a favor by stopping this from happening." But it made me wonder, because say Cloud agrees to this, on the surface, everything about this arrangement seems beneficial. Red gets to walk free. Aerith gets to walk free. Yeah. Avalanche is not getting held accountable for something. Like, everything for them gets wiped. Now, I don't know how deep they're, I'm sure that they're a little skeptical about the deal, but then you have Barret, who, out of everybody here, is the most passionately against and angry. Yeah. And but it's interesting compared to what he said earlier in the chapter. I don't want to kill the guy. I just want
a clean slate. I don't know. That's a clean slate. He might take that.
Like, would he want to take that, or would he want to pursue it? Like, if this was President Shinra, first of all, this hypothetical
he wouldn't believe a word he said.
This deal wouldn't be happening at all.
Yeah.
But if it did, he would be angry, and he wouldn't be taking it. But with Rufus, I wonder. And we were talking before. Barret sometimes can be a little susceptible to flattery, as we found out in the last episode. Now, he's not being flattered, but could he be susceptible to charm too? Because I'm under the impression that Rufus is playing them here, but that's up for debate.
I mean, I kind of retract my sympathetic statement after talking it through. But yeah, I think he's being deceptive. He's playing into it, and he wants Cloud to lead him to Sephiroth. Like, he's using Cloud to get out of the way. Let Cloud take him to Sephiroth. That was where I came to a conclusion there. Basically, I'm going to echo what you just said, but since it was a question in the survey, I'd like to ask it in the question. So, NIU, or Niu, in the survey says, what do you think about the brief truce between Rufus and the party? Did you wish it led to a different relationship between Cloud and Shinra, or are you happy that Yuffie quickly put an end to it? And Lionheart from the survey follows up with, do you think Rufus could have been trusted with the deal he was making with us? Excalibro, I'm throwing this one over to you.
All right. I love this question. So, well, I'm going to jump back a half step and throw Barret back into this. I think Barret would accept it. And the moment it was accepted, I think he would basically be like, all right, guys, like, we ain't buying this for 1 minute, but this works in our favor. Like, we can play along, but I don't trust this. Right? Like, I think that's how Barrett's reacting. Now, as far as, like, how do I feel about the scene? How do I feel about the way that it played out? I loved every bit of it, because here's the thing. It creates this feeling of hope, right? There's a little bit of hope. There's a little bit of anticipation. Maybe something's going to change here. Maybe something's going to be different. Maybe we're going to be able to move freely without having to worry about being harassed by Shinra, right? Like, this is all very promising. This is very cool. And then we have Yuffie being Yuffie, doing what she does best, and just stirs the pot up so bad. And I feel like having that carrot dangled just long enough to build the hope and then pulling the rug out was just an expert move. Like, that's exactly what you want out of a plot twist. You want to hope, you want to believe, you want to anticipate, and then you want that right hook to come in and just knock your teeth out. You want that. And so I thought it was great. I thought it was brilliant. Like, it made me mad at Yuffie, but that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to do that, right? Yeah. It sets her up so that the party needs to forgive her. Even Barrett's like, no, like, trying to stop the assassination, right? Because,
which I want to ask something about that too. Is because this would be extremely ironic. Barret screams stop, and then Heidegger sees Yuffie.
Yeah.
So it begs the question,
Barret saved his life.
Screenshot of the
Postcards from
postcard.
Gaia. Yeah.
Anyway, no, but because I wondered. I was watching that scene. I'm like, okay, you could make the argument maybe Heidegger caught it, but I think Heidegger only caught on to Yuffie being there because Barret screamed out "stop," and then he just was like, "What?" and saw that. And so, what's crazy is that the guy that we've been following up until this point, who's been so adamant about taking down Shinra, just stopped Shinra from being taken down.
Yep.
And it's pretty cool.
Very, very, very interesting. Yeah.
In the words of Switch, not like this.
Not like this.
Not like this.
Not like this.
Man. Like, yeah.
So this is a
I got the same notes, like Barret literally saved his life. I love the whole scene with Yuffie. I love that Barret calls her Little Miss Ninja too, but I love that she eats the chow bean. You get this quick little flashback. You're reminded of her motivation, her pain, you know, and so you can understand. Like you're like, you know, you don't want her to do this. It's causing a huge problem, but you can't really hold it against her.
Yeah,
you know, it's like
I like this is the first time we're seeing in this game at least we're seeing a serious version of this character. Like the entire time she's like running like all wild, she's calling him a weirdo on the beach, like she's like really eccentric and like all over the place, but now she like has this quiet moment where she eats the chow bean, right? Is what it's called, the chow.
The chow bean.
Yeah, she eats that, and then she has that reminded of that DLC that came out. That hey, if you played it, you know what I'm talking about. But if you didn't, here's a little flashback, and you're like, what the heck was that? But anyways, you can see that she has some sort of pain that she's dealing with, and it's quiet. It's a quiet moment, and she's like, "You got this," or something, or like, "I'm gonna do this," or something, whatever. And then we go into the assassination attempt. This mini game is kind of like the darts from Remake.
Yeah, it's darts.
Like darts from Remake.
Straight up darts. Yeah, same mechanic.
Mm-hmm. Get the bullseye.
It was a little unnecessary, in my opinion.
It was. I mean, you can't really fail. It's just gonna let you sit there.
You can't really fail, and also just why? Like, I understand it's cool to let us.
I think it's
because of her feelings, so we're getting to kind of channel that by playing.
I think it's supposed to build tension. Is what it's supposed to do. It's just building tension.
At the same time, though, does this mechanic return any? I can't remember for the life of me. Does this return?
It's just Remake Starts game.
One and done.
Yeah, Remake Starts game. They brought it in. They were like,
give you a pop-up tutorial for a game that you use for about 30 seconds.
Yo,
and then it never. That's a Square Enix. But like it's
they're like, we still got the code for that, right? Just copy, paste. That's what.
We could. Let's throw it in there.
By the way, from Jackie's journal, she quoted my exact words here. I just bell it out. Fucking Yuffie.
On point.
I want to point out that the execution of this scene is so frustratingly brilliant.
Yeah.
It's good. It's great. It's just, God, you are so mad at her. You are so mad at her for screwing this up. And it's cool because it's a way of tying in an optional character from the OG game, making her integral to a plot point that you just created, but roping it back into how the original events need to play out.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool way of making her integral to the plot as we know it, but by building it on a pedestal of totally newly created stuff. So really fascinating, really cool. I enjoyed it. Damn it, Yuffie, you son of a bitch. You're like, why? Why'd you do it? Why'd you do it, man?
Man, I agree, man. This scene was so freaking good. And it doesn't end here, man. This is, we have Red reporting that he saw a robe heading to the port. Cloud will use his disguise to throw off the 7th. And he directs them to Upper Junon. Once again, I have to throw it out there that this is the crew that we will have on the submarine, because larboard means left side. And this is when you're looking at the ocean, not when you're looking at Junon, but looking at the ocean. Left side is where the submarine parks, right? Or it docks up. So there's that, and then on the right side, I guess that's port side. That's where you would have the Shinra 8. Once again, showing us that the 7th is going to be down there in Larboard, where he was, the station by Cloud. So, anyways, that's cool. And then I come back around at the very end of this mission where Cloud tells him to, hey, go to Larboard and finish up the mission. So, let's see. I made a note. This music is so good. It's a mix of Let the Battles Begin and Shinra Incorporated. Like, it is so freaking good. So you hear,
need to hear it again.
Yeah. Well, I can't. If I play it, you won't be able to hear it.
I know. It's all good.
Let's see if
I don't think this is on the official soundtrack though.
I'm gonna play it for the audience.
I might temporarily be the audience.
But you guys. So there's the Let the Battles Begin, and then it does the da, 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 da. Like yeah. So it's Shinra Incorporated with Let the Battles Begin. So good.
I had to tune into a really cool stream to listen to that.
I did the same thing.
Man, our concurrent viewers went up, y'all. So let's see. Oh, sorry. I think it's funny. Like, never doubt your brothers.
Yeah. I have a note about that too.
Yeah.
Gamer's Parade loses a few troopers.
You run into the enemy troops and they're like, they're with the assassin.
Yeah.
Which is funny because the assassin is Yuffie, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Well,
Seventh
even
is
they
like,
would
whatever,
show
man.
later.
Ride or die, Cloud all the way, dude. Freaking traitors. They're fighting them and like, oh man, terrorists, get out of here. And it's like, bro, you're killing your own man right now. This is no mercy.
Before we get to Roche, I have a couple of like quick fire things to say. This is just really silly and stupid, but I just want to point it out. For some reason, the animation, or just not anime, but like the camera angle combined with the troopers using potions, for some reason reminded me of XCOM. If anybody here has played XCOM games, like it reminded me of Dude, it reminded me of you. But no, so it reminded me of like XCOM camera, and when you're like commanding your and maybe that would be a really cool application for the 7th, almost like an XCOM style like RTS. That would be dope. That'd be cool.
I'm kind of curious. Like, I feel like they're going to do a full blown RTS for the Fort Condor instead of doing the board game. But we got to defend the island. Yeah,
that'd be sick.
Defend the entire island RTS. Oh, come on. All right, so now we run into Roche.
Wait, I have a point I need to pop off real quick before this.
Yeah.
So, I absolutely love the 7th. Like, I think we're all in agreement on that. I loved the 7th so much, to the point that I used MP to heal them when they started to die.
Yep.
And I was taking care of them.
Yeah, man.
But then I remembered playing in hard mode.
Oh, you don't have that, no. Yeah,
so the problem is, I get up to this jerk off on the bike here who wants to fight, and I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll take you out. But on the bench, I completely forgot up until this point that in hard mode you only get HP back unless you're using a cushion, which I had no option to do. So I went into this fight with like 20 MP, if that. I was like, God damn it!
And on hard mode, nonetheless, like hard mode is. You kind of need your magic sometimes, you know. But this is where
I went into this with
nothing. where your folio comes in handy, where you can use the spells without MP.
Yep. Except I didn't have the fire one.
Oh.
So that was a me.
Well,
of course.
That does make it challenging,
dude. I raw dogged this fight.
I raw dogged.
Like
you raw dogged.
Yeah, raw dogged. Yeah.
This dude, it was.
I honestly have it any other way,
dude. Yeah, really. I went into this. Weirdly enough, Bayaga was more useful than fire because I used chipping away at his health as I was just scrambling for options.
That's so funny.
And so anyway, I just wanted to share that because I said earlier, I didn't want him to win during the parade because I'm like, I don't want you to get the best of me. And then I went into this fight with like little MP, and I was like,
you got the best of
oh,
me.
dear God.
You're gonna get the best of me.
God, he's about to get the best of me, and he did a few times, mostly because I couldn't heal or do anything really. Like I had maybe like 2 or 3 spells at my disposal, depending on how I used my MP. So I had to be extremely strategic. But
That's
it was a lot
what
of
Roche
fun.
wanted from you anyway. He wants the best from you, man.
Yeah, he wanted.
wants
Dude,
the
I
best
played
of
this
Roche.
as he intended. I
Yeah,
played this
exactly.
as Roche would want. I did this as challenging as.
Don't-
Only thing I could have done more is used more MP.
Let me ask you a question.
Nothing.
Let me ask you a question. Do you guys feel like you're so invested into the game sometimes that you choose not to summon? Like, this is between me and Roche.
Yeah.
This is between me and Roche, and I'm not bringing in a third party. That's not what Roche would want it. And that's how I fought this battle on both normal and hard mode. I get invested, man. I feel like sometimes when I call in a summon, I feel like I'm like, oh man, look at this guy. Look at this guy summoning a freaking deity. Like, you can't fight us one. And that's what I feel like sometimes.
Cheapening the fight. You don't want to cheapen the fight.
Like when I'm
Yeah.
fighting the Turks, I'm like, I'm not bringing in a summon. Because that just seems weird. It seems wrong. I'm bringing in the freaking god of ice. And like, you're just some dudes, you know? And maybe, you know, like it's just.
I mean,
it's
it
unfair.
depends on who it is. I mean, if we're fighting Palmer, yeah, I'm bringing in
Oh yeah,
everything
we
and
can
just-
crush that dude with some Ramu. We can freaking crush that
What
dude.
summon do you guys keep on Cloud? I'm just curious.
I don't know. I just
I
whatever
keep-
whatever
I
I
keep
need,
Gilgamesh on him.
whatever
I keep
whatever.
Gilgamesh on them as well.
Yeah,
Oh really?
Gilgamesh.
I feel like it's
Yeah.
either. I mean, so whatever. It may be Odin or Bahamut, but like
Interesting.
it really comes down to who I need in the fight. Like, am I fighting a mechanical person? I'm gonna need Ramu. Somebody's gonna have to have him. But it's probably Bahamut or Odin.
Odin.
Because like Cloud's
Nice.
he's the leader, so he needs the leader of the summons. You know.
I just like Gilgamesh because funny
Dragons.
swordman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
same. I mean, I love Gilgamesh. Period. So I
Yeah.
gotta keep him. I gotta keep him in the party. So
Excalibur.
I
Excalibur.
I like watching Cloud get forced into situations he doesn't want to be in. So Gilgamesh just throwing him around in the background while he's finishing. It's always really funny to me.
East Blue Drew says, I've been in some tough fights. I never call summons, but summoning or fighting Sephiroth, and I'm Lady Unileska out here, man. Just
Right. All day, baby.
So Roche says, you and I are living legends. Whoa! You will be my living legacy? Ah! Two things that sound similar. Excalibur, this was
Yeah.
your best battle award.
Yeah.
Now we didn't.
Yes, sir.
We haven't given out our awards yet, but for this one, you're the only one that said Roche out of us.
All right.
Yep.
All right. So I love this. First of all, I mean, Roche has a band. He has dramatic lighting prepared.
Yeah.
This is all like prepared in advance.
Presentation.
Like, watch how this plays out. Yeah. It's like, it's so characteristic of him, and it really shows you how much thought he put into this moment. I just love it, man. The music like gives me these like Cowboy Bebop vibes. I don't know if you guys ever watched that. Like this epic
definitely
jazz. You know, the use of the military band, man. Just to quote like Andrea Rodea, perfection. Like I loved it, bro. Yeah, he's got the gladiator quote in there. Are you not entertained?
Yeah, dude. That
You know,
I
like
wrote that quote.
You know, and afterward he salutes him. You get the speed demon keychain. You know, like as a Roche fan, man, that made me so happy. Like I know it's a small thing, but it would be really cool if you have that keychain in part 3 as like a memento when he's like,
That would be cool.
just gone. You know, but like for me, this fight is a culmination of all these things that you've seen from Roche, because this is kind of like, you don't know it at the time, but in hindsight, this is like your last big hurrah, because the next fight with him, he's not himself.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, the next fight. So
It's very sad, right?
This is
And
almost like the peak Roche experience.
this is
Besides fighting him on the bike on the expressway.
yes, this is peak Roche. And Roche, in my opinion, is what the OG needed. It needed more soldiers. It needed more parallels. Like I always felt the OG could have used more soldiers, because it almost felt like soldiers were like a thing of the past. Like there weren't really
Yeah, that's a
any
good
more,
point.
right?
It almost felt like
And-
they dying breed.
Yeah. And the re-trilogy is a lot more clear, like on Genova's influence and the pull toward reunion. I feel like Roche is the perfect vehicle for this. So, like, when I was playing Remake, I told my wife this, like, exactly this was going to happen, that this was the purpose of Roche, to absolutely, like, decimate this lively, energetic soul to drive home what happens to soldiers. And, yeah, I mean, like, you know, no future memories, but we know where this is going. And like I said, this is peak Roche. That's why I love it.
Yeah, it like I heard you guys say it makes it sad. Like it almost like playing this the second time, the replay of this, I'm like, oh man, like this is hitting different right now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get to the end of this battle because I have, unless if you have anything else to say on the battle.
Nah, man, like the battle was dope.
Battle's a lot of fun. But
me and you, Dragoon King, we went with the Terror of the Deep. Yeah,
which I'm surprised by your answer on that, if I'm honest, because you even said last game it wasn't one of your favorite fights. So I thought you would have put last episode that wasn't one of your favorites. So might I ask you why you like Terror of the Deep more than this one?
So with Terror of the Deep, there's a cool gimmick there. I like that you got the water cells, you have the water tornadoes going on. You're moving around the area of effects things. I like the presentation of the Terror of the Deep too. It is nowhere near the presentation of the Roche fight. Like the Roche fight is freaking like supposed to be high octane. It's supposed to be big, bombastic.
Literally awesome
presentation.
Yeah, exactly.
There's different types of presentation there. You know, Terror of the Deep is actually there's stakes involved. Whereas, because you're defending people, you're defending Yuffie, you're defending, each other like that. This is just Mad Max Thunderdome. I love
the concept. I love the premise. The reason why I don't put Roche up there is just because the battle itself almost feels a little underwhelming to me. Like he stays on his bike the entire time. I was hoping that there would be a second phase to this or a third phase.
Yeah, me too.
Where he gets off the bike and we fight him like we did in Remake, like on foot fight.
Yeah. I wanted more out of it too, but it hits different for me because I don't know, I love the dude.
Oh yeah, dude, I love Roche. Like
Roche is great. It's just I think of the two. Okay, so and this is honestly what sold me on Terror of the Deep over this one. Terror of the Deep, I went in with full MP and HP. This one I just explained. I went in with like nothing. And while I had a frustrating start because I really had like the first, I think like I died like once or twice. It was frustrating because I really had to like think over my strategy with the MP usage. But as far as like timing his attack, like blocking his attacks, he wasn't nearly as challenging, in my opinion. Whereas Terror of the Deep had way more going on. You have the bubbles, you have the creature itself, you have the AoE. AoE
tornadoes.
They're pretty easy to just dodge out.
Oh yeah, it just keeps you on your feet. You're moving. With this one, I feel like you're
more going on.
I feel like I'm just kind of running and waiting for Roche to come back, and I'm going to parry your attack, or I'm going to dodge out of the way.
Yep, 100%.
Now, guys, this is extreme future memory. This is like a spoiler alert, even though we've been talking spoilers the entire time. Yeah, Genova ride this right now because, y'all, does this parry look extremely familiar? Like, I don't understand why there's a connection here, but this looks so familiar. Look at the camera angle.
Yeah, real. Okay, yeah.
Come on, and then zoom, and look. We even have the pause, and then they zoom in on the faces. Look, his face, and then the.
Yeah. Dude, why?
Right.
Well, I don't know why there's a parallel there, but man,
I want to play her final prayer over that scene and see how it lines up.
It gets really emotional because of. Roche.
Him on the ground, he's just the air thing. It's just him getting up from a minor inconvenience. Well, I mean, it's a little major. He lost his bike, but like he himself is fine.
That's.
I don't know, but you're right. That is really weird. That he's
was
just
a strange parallel, y'all.
That is a very strange parallel. Also, I forgot to mention this real quick, but Jackie woke up. Like, all right, so she fell asleep.
Yeah.
During this fight, her last note was Liam used MP in hard mode to help the 7th because he loves them, with a little heart that she added. Very sweet. Then she fell asleep. It was late. We started our playthrough a little late, so she fell asleep on the couch. She woke up to the freaking ensemble going off and me going in.
What the hell is going on?
She goes, funny enough, we had an inverse. I actually took the book and quoted her. And the quote was, "Oh God, I'm going back to sleep." So, oh God, I'm going back to Jackie upon seeing Roche in the arena.
That's great.
Wow, man.
She just woke up and it's like, I just remember seeing her. She was like, oh God. Go back to sleep. And just curled up in her little girlfriend ball. And so I just wanted to get that out there because there was
oh God, I'm going back to sleep. Roche says this in an almost emotionally defeated way. He says, "I swear, you get better, stronger, and faster with every lap." There's a little Daft Punk reference there, except he left out the harder because sometimes you don't need words to tell somebody how you're feeling, if you know what I mean.
Oh, he's about to make some double entendres right here, bro. He drops them.
Does he? What does he say?
He does, man. He's like something like, "I'll be right behind you," before he blows a kiss.
Roche presents Cloud as the champion to the crowd. He also gives Cloud a gift. Now, this depends on how well you did. If you did really well, he'll give you the Speed Demon Chain. If you, I don't know, whatever else he gives you, an elixir here. Now, he blows Cloud a kiss after saying, "I'll be behind you." And then bids him bon voyage. He also tells Cloud that he demands another dance, which makes that even more sad. I think Cloud is even starting to warm up to Roche here as well. Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. Is in that at the end of their fight, he seems more. And you know what I wonder?
Yeah.
He wasn't with any of the party. I'm curious if he was with anybody who he was familiar. Been like, yeah, all right, catch you later, bud. Like he just would have dismissed it, but because he was on his own.
Yeah.
I mean, he's with the 7th, but the 7th don't even know him.
Well,
so
even when we get to the, jumping ahead.
I love that line.
Yeah,
I know what you're about to say.
Yeah. He's a jackass. And he's like, "Yeah, we already know that, sir."
Yeah, we already know that.
Yeah. But he goes, but he pauses. He says, "Roche, he's a jackass." But like, was he going to say "my friend"? Was he going to say it? I was wondering.
He was just trying to find the best insult.
Hey, he's a jackass.
The jackass on the bike. He's a jackass.
He's a jackass. But I thought he was going to say it, man. When he said he's my friend. But no, yes, sir. We already knew that. I'm just talking about. Anyways, let's go back to this. We're gonna meet up with at the elevator for what is a really heartwarming moment between Cloud and the 7th.
Yeah, my favorite line with them is when you're running through and one of them says, "You don't think the enemy has infiltrated the 7th, do you?" And he's like, "Never doubt your brothers." And I'm like, "Oh,
yep,
bro,
never doubt your brothers." This exchange of words between Cloud and the 7th Infantry feel loaded. I made this note.
Yeah, you
guys get that too? See, I man, this is what's great about having you guys on the panel.
Will we see each other again, sir? Count on it.
What's your interpretation, Wiley? Like,
I mean, this is exactly what the devs did to us when we started this chapter. They're like, "You can't go over there," and now they're like, "You're gonna see these guys again later." I mean, I think this is the devs talking straight to us, man.
So you're thinking it's loaded with foreshadowing.
Oh yeah.
All right, so now I got to get deep. I got to get deeper. I just got to go deep. I don't know why I keep on saying I got to go deep. It's just I keep saying that word.
It's terrifying.
You got to stop saying that.
Dan is the actual terror of the deep.
All right, so listen, I got to make connections here that probably don't need to be made. Cloud's relationship with the 7th right here in this little exchange of words. Sounds very much like his relationship with the party. When we met Cloud in Remake, he was constantly trying to shake everyone. Were they a burden to him? Like when the 7th said, "Are we that much of a burden to you?" So it feels like the 7th are kind of talking to Cloud, and Cloud is maybe making connections with his friends here. Are we that much of a burden? And regardless of Cloud's behavior, those friends of his remain faithful. And this is like when Cloud like grabs his sword and he's like, "I hate to do this, blah blah blah." Whoa! You know, you don't have to take the joke that far.
Yeah, we know it was a girl.
And they're still sticking with him. And so even if it's something that he can't explain because they say, like, "We know you have secrets you can't divulge to us," or whatever, and it's very similar to Cloud. We saw it with Tifa, the rooftop. You know I can't tell you that. He can't explain it, but they still accept him for who he is. And just like the 7th accept Cloud for who he is.
Is it really a secret if you don't know?
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe he can't divulge the information because he literally doesn't know how to divulge the information. But,
right.
And then the last part of this, the 7th says, "I don't know, man. Feels like we've become more like family, even though we just met." Well, Cloud just met Barret, Aerith, Red, and he reunited recently with Tifa, and they feel like family, don't they? Man,
yeah.
I just went a little more deeper with the 7th Infantry, kind of reflecting that. But that's what I took away from it.
No, that was great, dude. Like, I was totally focused on the end of it, and like, are we gonna see these guys again? And you're like breaking down every line, and I'm loving it.
I mean, they definitely
solid, bro.
They definitely hint at it, though. He's like, go back to what did he say? Larboard. Go back to Larboard Junon, and you know, that's where the sub is gonna be. So. Very exciting stuff to look forward to with part 3, and also I'm excited for chapter 5, which is coming up because we're going to take the elevator down to the Shinra 8. They're going to meet Captain Taitov, who Aerith will trick into thinking they get a free ride because they won the presidential commendation, and it works. And then Kyrie misses the boat. And that's going to be the end of the story recap. Do you guys have anything to add to the story recap? Because then we're going to get into our official ranking, and our, like, I know we usually start the show off with our rankings and review, but basically we'll get to our ranking and then give me your reasoning why it ranked where it ranked, and we'll look over our awards in case if there was anything we missed.
Okay. I just like that the homies watched you descend all the way down the elevator. If you watch them the entire time, then when you get to the bottom, elevator actually snaps the camera snaps forward so that if you look back, they're gone. They actually have to force you.
Like, stop looking at them, man. I'll break the camera.
I was looking at them the whole time.
I'll break the camera. I'll keep an eye on them.
Also, more of a chapter 5 point, but just wanted to point out, it's fun that after watching Cloud, Aerith, and Tifa have to play their undercover roles so well, we're now seeing Barret have to take up the role as being.
Forgot he was wearing the sailor suit.
And Red being a pet. He has to go into the car. As a pet, and Barret has to
stay in the hold.
And Barret has to be a sailor and put to work.
Yeah.
I hope they pay him.
Man, that hand attachment, bro. Talk about a killer right hook. Sorry. Last one.
He said,
Oh.
All right, y'all.
I thought I had you pegged, bro. Like a little pirate pump for you. See, no, gotta hit you with the. It's good because
it's good. It's because it's a pirate. You guys get it?
I still think when you did that in episode 3, when you were just like, it's a triple entendre. It's good.
It's actually good. All right, y'all. That is the end of the story recap. Let's go in here and rank these things, shall we? Now we rank the minigames. This is where we rank Chapter 4. And as we do this, chat, now is your time to get any last-minute questions about Chapter 4. Bring them to the panel right now. And here we go. This is our rankings. If it wasn't any surprise, like it's no surprise to anybody here, as Dawn of a New Era is our number 1. That's Chapter 4. A New Journey Begins is at number 2, and that's Chapter 2. Fall of a Hero is at number 3, and that was chapter 1. Deeper into Darkness is chapter... What did I say? I don't even know. I'm saying this wrong. Chapter 3, and that's number 4. Did I say that right? Did I go through that right? You guys can see the visual. 4, 2, 1, 3. 4, 2, 1, 3. And now we'll go in and we'll find out how we got there, because Dragoon King, you have Dawn of a New Era at number 1.
Yeah. So listen, last week, the Under Junon section. This is, I think, probably one of the strongest open world sections that the game works with in its entirety. I mean, the other ones are great, and we'll touch on those later. But I think this one, side quests are all great, even the ones that we thought weren't great. If you watch that episode, Wiley and I cooked on one that we that red quest, we cooked on that.
Listen, I'll say it right now, it's the Kyrie quest. Go watch that, dude. It's freaking great.
Go watch that scene. We gave a great interpretation on that. But no, like, the Under Junon section is one of my favorite sections in the game. The Upper Junon's great. It's a great just overall chapter. Phenomenal open world section, in my opinion, and a very strong linear section to end. So I have no complaints. I think it excels at almost everything it does, and it's perfect. Like it's a great chapter all around.
Absolutely. And then we go over to the Excalibro, ranking it at number 1.
Yeah, I mean, DK just said it all. Like, I mean, that's basically it. I would throw in, this is where we see Roche for the first time, and this is some of our strongest moments with him. Also, we've got some of the better mini games. I mean, Fort Condor, this is the only spot you get it, right? The music too, my goodness, man.
The music, man.
Some of the most banger music, multiple banger tracks in this area. So I mean, really, I would just add all that on top of what Lee said, because it's a great package overall, man. It really just touches every note, you know?
Yeah. Dude, it's funny because as we were going through this, I almost forgot that this chapter is part of what we talked about last week. This is also including the Junon region, the Under Junon. Now we go up here to the top. This amazing discussion we had today, talking about all the excitement. Like I said at the top of the show, this for me was teaser after teaser, foreshadowing after foreshadowing, and then coupled that with a really, really fun mini game that we ranked at first class. Like, this is a great mini game that we hope to see returns in part 3, and not only with all the gameplay stuff with that, but story wise, man. Like, I don't know, man. This is what I want from a remake. So I think this is where the conversation I have so many times whenever I had to express that my dislikes towards remake and the things that they did with it, and like taking the whispers. Of course, I've come around to a lot of these things, but man, it hit me hard. It was things that I had to deal with for a long time. Reason why I started Final Fantasy V, to be honest, so I could talk it through. But I struggle with those changes that they made. Now, every time I would say that, you just want a 1-to-1, man. You know, and I'm like, no, I actually don't, though, because I really love the Jesse stuff in Remake. I really love the combat. Like, the combat is significantly, like, better than OG. Like, I love this. My favorite combat of all time. So, all of that said, Chapter 4 is where that all comes in for Rebirth. Like, so it was Chapter 1 for me in Remake, where I was like, oh my god, this is everything I wanted. And I think FF7 Music asked this question for Chapter 1, and now I'm going to answer it, because it was like, hey, is Chapter 1 everything you wanted, just like Chapter 1 of Remake was everything you wanted? Chapter 4 is everything I want from FF7R project. This thing has excellent recreations of OG moments, right? We're taking OG moments like the parade, and we're elevating it to a whole new level, man. Yep. Like, it was spectacular. Exactly. No cap. No cap.
No cap.
No cap, yo. This is good
My
stuff.
pantyhose are on the ground, so I'm just.
Hey, man, that's what happens when I start talking about this chapter. You know what I'm saying? But no, like, listen, man. They had great remake of OG moments. They had excellent new additions and revisions to moments from the OG that did not upset me. These were just excellent, well done revisions. Like Yuffie replacing Priscilla, Yuffie's motivations, meeting Yuffie, the entire thing with her, like being the assassination plot. Whoa, super cool.
Yeah.
Had me on the edge of my seat. Because
it did it in a way that like really honored the source material. You know what I mean? Like
and
that's what I liked, because I think a lot of, and maybe, you know what, I think if anything, maybe they heard some of the criticisms with remake that people had with the constant whisper injections.
Yeah.
And it's cool because, for example, a lot of things that didn't happen as they originally planned out, like, happened here. I almost wonder if they took the remake philosophy of how they handled the whispers. Would the whispers have knocked Yuffie to the side a bit to make sure that she couldn't kill
if they would have
Rufus or
kept that going,
something?
yeah, it would have just been. It would continue that gimmick.
And that's why I like this chapter a lot, because and honestly, why I love Rebirth a lot, because to me, they didn't, I feel like, overuse the whispers.
They utilized them great in this.
They utilized them much better than they did in remake. There's some parts where, and we'll touch on that later.
Yeah.
Watch. But they handled them overall significantly better, and in a way where I was less frustrated and more and that's good, because it's a huge element that they add. And I think this chapter is a phenomenal example of, hey, we can approach major changes, keep it true to the original, and not inject the whispers unnecessarily.
Yeah, and like this is chapter 4, man. Like in a nutshell, like where it's just like, dude, we're making changes, we're doing this stuff, we're not throwing in things that are going to purposely make you scratch your head, make you like confused or upset, like the whispers. But like for me, this was an amazing, dude. Bringing up Cloud in the party face to face with Rufus, making that, like, this chapter is amazing, and plus with all the CG cinematics. Amazing. Yeah. It's going to be real hard to top this chapter as we go forward for me.
This chapter, it's front... I said it when I was talking about my perspective. It's front-loaded with so much great open-world material. I feel like Junon as a region is not too dense, too hard to explore. It's pretty straightforward. It has great side content. Fun mini games to do. You got, the world intels are fun. You got the mini games with like the frogs and stuff. Under Junon is, we gushed over how fascinating it is. Hell, we were joking about Old Salt. We were talking about different theories and all this stuff. It's front loaded with exceptional open world content. I felt like every angle of Junon that you could look at and explore just added something incredibly fascinating and enjoyable to the lore, to the world, to the characters. And then you get to the point where hey, we need to bring you in. It's time to cap this chapter off with a linear section. We're gonna tie it back into the story as we need to progress. I hope you had your fun in your little sandbox. Time to hit the slide.
Time to hit the slide. Yo, it's amazing, and the fans agreed, y'all. So I'm gonna go down here, show you a new thing here that's going on. So this is the fan votes. Don't worry about the side; it's the same exact thing. The fan votes. I tallied up everybody's votes, put them to the same point system that we're using. Now I have to let that be known that we are now using just the linear point values of just 14, 13, all the way down to 1. We're not weighting the top 3 like we were. I think we're just going to keep it 14, 13, 12, 11, and go down from there. So I put those point values in for the fans and their votes, tallied them all up. Dawn of a New Era is at number 1 with 320 points. A New Journey Begins at 309 points. Fall of a Hero with 296. And Deeper into Darkness with 275. Now, if you want to change this, fans, you guys got to take the survey. And you can make your vote be known, and I will from now on highlight where you guys stand on this. Now, I love just kind of showing where you guys stand at it. This is going to be our official rankings up here. Now, if there is any sort of tie, and there can be a tie, well, your fan vote will break that tie and put that one either above or below based on where you rank it. So that's just something, that you guys get to kind of play a part in it as well. So you guys also keep filling out those surveys, because I love reading your thoughts. I try my best to get your questions out on the show as many times as I can. Josh Z super chats in, and Josh Z says, "Thank you so much, by the way, for being a Final Fantasy TV party member over on, I believe you're on Patreon. You could be a YouTube member as on that. I don't know, but you're a FF7 party member, and it means a great deal to me. Thank you." With the super chat saying, "I thought that they missed an opportunity for Cloud to have that headache when he's changing uniforms, or do you think that would have been a little too on the nose?"
The headaches are a little strange because it's not always clear exact, in my opinion. Sometimes it feels like it could be because he's remembering past, or it's because it's conflicting with a Zack-esque memory compared to his own memory. And somebody in the I'm not going to pretend that. Actually, no, I am going to pretend I didn't see that comment about what they said about the. This is totally my own original idea, and that it really shouldn't trigger a headache. That is my idea. No, whoever, I can't read, but Dan, please shout out whoever
game,
that.
I think.
Okay,
it was an infantryman, and remembers that even with Zack's persona, it doesn't create an incurgence, so no headache.
I think that's honestly a pretty valid take on it. It would have been kind of cool, but also I think.
I'm just gonna say, like we were talking about, how this is kind of feels like Cloud is just slipping back into himself here. Right. So it almost feels like, I don't know. I mean, maybe there should have been an interference there, but he falls back into what he was back as a trooper.
It almost feels like if there was going to be a headache, it's because the only rationale I can think of is because Genova needs to try and reinstate influence. Because Cloud almost hit too close to home.
It's a joke.
Too close to the sun.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a joke that Wiley said when he says Genova ride, but that's literally what he's doing. Ride, Genova is overriding the memory there. So yeah.
So the one thing I wanted to add on to that point though, real quick, is that so with soldiers, it's not exactly clear if all of them start as infantrymen. Some do, to my understanding. Like they might be good infantrymen who just excelled at what they did, so they propelled them to the status of a soldier. Maybe start getting experimented on. Some I don't think Zack was ever in treatment, for example. I'm under the impression he probably just got thrown straight into the soldier program. But it makes me wonder, in this perception that when I was first playing this chapter, and we're seeing Cloud dress up, in my mind, or in how I'm seeing the scene, I feel like Cloud's saying to himself, okay, I got to pretend to be a soldier. But then, I have to pretend to be an infantryman. But then he later outright states, I remember the protocols. Why would a soldier remember infantryman protocols? So, I don't know exactly if Genova... That's where I wanted to tie this back into that. I don't know if Genova would need to override anything, because perhaps Zack did go through infantryman protocol, and so he could just... It would make sense for the continuity that Genova's creating for Cloud in his headcanon. But
East Blue Drew asks, was the Highwind built to scale? Like in part 3, do we fly the world with that thing? You know what I mean?
Bananas.
I hope.
Bananas. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, East
Massive.
Blue, I'm going to make a video on the skies. Okay, I'm going to make a video on that because I got a video coming out most likely this week. So get excited about underwater exploration and stuff like that. And then I'll do the skies. But I feel like nobody's talking about underwater and how epic that's going to be. So I wanted to do that. And then I'll talk about the skies because I feel like everybody's talking about that. But don't forget, it was I who wanted to the aerial battles. Okay. All right. I said that back like 2 or 3 years ago. Okay. Anyways,
how big do you guys honestly think that the Highwind is? I'm gonna make a very, very broad estimate here and say that it is at 3 feet.
At
big.
least 3 feet. I mean,
At least.
It's at least 3 feet big. I don't know.
3 by 3.
That thing
by
is
3
massive.
At least.
it's at least 3 feet.
At
yo.
least. So I have no idea though, but that'd be crazy if it's that big.
I mean, I'll talk about it in the video, y'all.
In the video.
So now we have our rankings there. Let's talk about, let's shout out our Queen's Blood Player of the Week, Neil the Guitar Man. Okay, we'll make this look. We'll make this graphic look a lot better one day. But
working out the kinks here.
We're working out the kinks. It's Neil the Guitar Man. He's the guy that was singing the song over in the Crow's Nest. And then we'll go over to our awards. So here we go for Best Music. The Junon region, Remnants of the Republic. That was for me and Excalibro. I think you actually narrowed it down to that, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
Sure did.
And then
Damn,
the Dragoon
I lost
King
you.
says, Under Junon, Sunless Oasis.
Yep.
As a runner-up, man.
Let me
Such
just-
a dope song.
Let me just say, best music in this was probably the toughest category yet. Like, this was the toughest ranking or whatever award, because this chapter, I don't know if I can make this statement like confidently yet, but best
Dude.
chapter of like best music in a chapter in the entire game.
Yeah, I was honestly caught up between Under Junon, Sunless Oasis, and Junon Fortified Metropolis. Those two songs are constant repeat bangers for me.
Rufus
Remnants is great.
The inauguration,
Yeah.
the parade music.
Yep.
All of the dude,
Roche.
I almost
Roche, yeah.
put that. I almost put that as my best rebirth. Was the inauguration like parade music? Like I was like, dude, this is freaking great.
Yeah. I was in my head all day the first time that I played that chapter of Rebirth. It was just like all day. All day.
Oh man, dude. Best battle. So whoa.
Wait.
Whoa.
The truth comes out.
Whoa, you liar! You liar!
Riley took you on Remnants, or no, wait. Riley, jump on your side. Jump back onto my side with.
You got your overrided, bro.
I got to override it. It's like, that's not what you meant. I had Terror of the Deep, and then Excalibro had Roche, and then Dragoon King with Terror of the Deep. Best side quest, When Words Won't Do. That was the beautiful side quest with Barret, just being the family man that he is, escorting a bow wow wow, bow wow wow.
Dude, great quest, but I was this close to changing it after me and why. Like
While you guys cooked.
That Kyrie quest, after we talked about it, I was so close. I even said that to Dan in a message. I was very close. I do think that When Words Won't Do is probably one of the best side quests in the entire game. I'll put it out there.
Yeah, it's a great side quest, man.
But that Kyrie one, what started as it's a quest to man.
This is a quest.
Awesome. This is my quest. Holy shit!
Now we have our best rebirth. Now for me and the Dragoon King, we say the inauguration parade. I guess that includes just the whole thing, the minigame and everything else. We feel like this was better than it was done in the original. And then the Galbrussen Bald Bar for Excalibro.
I had to do it. That was easy. It was too easy to pick the parade, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick this right now.
Damn.
Shout out there.
Damn, we got to blow out of the water next episode. I'm gonna pick something. What?
Your mic cut out. The whispers took that away from you.
Peak, bro.
The whispers took that away from you. They didn't want you to spoil what you were going to pick next week.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's gonna be wild.
It's going to be wild. Best birth. This is something that was introduced in Rebirth in the FF7R project. Rufus commendation assassination attempt. This entire sequence, you heard us gush about it and how awesome it was. And then my get hype moment. I was stuck between two. I've decided. I still am more hype about Cloud sidestepping Gilgamesh. Now, you might think like, dude, how was the parade not hype? How was the inauguration, except like all the commendation and all this other stuff? How was that not hype? That was hype, but in a different way, right? When I say get hype moment. I'm talking about a singular moment. Like, it can't be a scene. It has to be a singular moment that happened. And it was when Cloud just sidesteps Gilgamesh after he's running at him and about to attack him. Come on, dude. And Cloud just like shrugging it off, looking back at him, and just doesn't even, not interested, was all over his face. Just so great, dude. So great. That would be my get hype moment. Roche's first appearance was also hype. Yes, Centurion. Yeah, this chapter is amazing. This chapter is amazing. It's going to be really hard to beat this chapter. And that, I believe, will conclude everything we want to talk about.
Yeah. I just want to throw this out there because I completely forgot to do this earlier. Hey, if you made it this far and want to get a Dragon King shout out next episode, please leave the comment. We're gonna use Wiley's shirt password. Just write I love or I heart cannons, yes. And if you throw that in the comments, I'll give you a shout out the next episode. We're gonna keep that bit running.
I heart cannon. Extra points, extra experience points if you put the red heart emoji.
Yeah, if you put a red heart. Mm-hmm. And you get bonus points for me if you do the emoticon, like the 3 and the, you know.
I less than 3. I less than 3.
Less than 3 cannons.
Less than 3 cannons.
Wait, at least 3 feet?
At least. It's all coming back around.
Meta.
Oh my god, it's wrapped around.
What?
So, share your love for cannons, and add you to the Chocobo Cavalry.
Everybody, I want to say a big thank you to everybody tuning in and watching this one all the way from the beginning, or whether you jumped in midway through and you stuck around, you enjoyed it. Let me know. That's man, we love to see it. We all love to see the positive comments. Hey, we also love the feedback too. So if you have any ideas to make the show better, chime in, fill out the survey. There's a question on there dedicated to that. Comment on the video if you don't want to do the survey. That's okay too. But equip that subscription. If you're watching this right now and you haven't equipped the subscription, it would mean a lot, if you did that, right, guys? Like equip that subscription. Yeah.
Smash that subscribe button.
And next week, now this is where it's going to get interesting, right? Because me and the boys have been talking, and it's funny because privately both Wiley and Lee sent me the same message. So I don't know what that means. You guys sent me the same message without even coordinating with each other. Because, Lee was like, I got an idea of what's going to be the most controversial chapter, when it's going to start. I have an idea of when we're going to start changing up our rankings.
I was going to say, up until this point, we've been a hive mind. We gotta diversify.
Yeah.
This is our point.
Because, right now, we're on the same page, right? Now, it's funny because Lee says it's going to be chapter 5. And then Excalibro messaged me in a different separate message without coordinating with Lee. It said, hey, man, I bet it's going to be chapter 5. So this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very, very interesting.
Watch us all rank it the same.
I know.
That was so interesting. We built up so much hype. Tune in next Tuesday to see that we're
all on the same page still. Yeah. Oh man, where does the fans vote? That comes up down to you guys. Keep an eye out for the survey. Of course, it gets posted on YouTube in our community thing there, and then it also gets posted on Twitter, and you can see that. I'll let you guys know when it's up. But yeah, there it is. Thank you so much for watching this video, this live podcast. I want to say a big thank you to everybody watching, and I want to say an even bigger thank you to my panelists, Excalibro, the Dragoon King.
Every time I do this, I feel like I'm gonna kill myself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jackie just got freaking
Yeah, no, dude, what happened to Jackie? I don't know.
What happened?
Guys, Jackie's journal, it might not happen next
Jackie's journal not gonna happen. She's been impaled.
Why do her notes look like they were written in your handwriting?
Blood all over the journal.
Yeah, I was to say, what happened to the journal? Well, like the journalist.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care now. Bye-bye then.